5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Two white Muslims.
Go.
Assalamu alaikum.
Wa rahmatullahi
Wa barakatuh.
My name's Junaid Rahim,
And my name's Muhammad Yusuf Bashforth.
and affectionately we're known as
The two white Muslims. Assalamu
Wa
alaikum.
rahmatullahi.
Wa barakatuh. Here
back.
we go again.
We're back. Get up.
Here
Get up,
we
wake
go
up.
again. There's something I need to say.
Oh.
Something I need to say. You
Go
ready
on.
for this?
Yes.
Grab!
It has got legs, that one, hasn't it?
has.
It's a runner.
I can't stop.
It's a runner, that.
I can't stop.
Oh, it does make me
Anybody
giggle.
who needs to know what that's all about,
Oh,
just
it
check
does
our
make me giggle.
podcasts out. Check them out.
Oh, it does
Dear
make me
me.
giggle, that one.
It's a bit like
Oh.
when you say, "Hey, Mercedes."
Hey, Mercedes. Cow! 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 Where do Vikings come from?
Viking land. Where else?
So what exactly happened? Well, I was just cleaning my bike.
What appears to be the problem, sir? He said to Max, standing there with a drill at his head.
Attached to his head. Oh dear! I love how he had to get the bus. Oh dear!
Did he tie his hair up the next day?
Oh my goodness!
So check out our podcast.
Go-
You're
go to the
missing
podcast.
a
Go
treat.
to the podcast.
Though I say
It
so
won't
myself.
render.
Tommy,
Tommy,
Idiot Robin.
the gift that keeps giving.
I love that. fella.
Oh, brilliant!
He just supplies ammunition,
brilliant.
no less.
Oh,
Ammunition.
EDL. EDL rally.
Bless
Can't
him.
get my video working. I know. Let's show me the video of me wedding. Oh,
With my
dear.
wife,
With my wife,
pixelated.
pre-pixelated. Oh, go back and listen to the podcast.
Listen to the podcast.
Go and have a listen to the
Go onto
podcast.
our YouTube channel, Two
Yeah.
White Muslims.
Yep,
Subscribe while you're there.
Yes.
If
Yes.
you know what's good for you.
yep.
And
And you can get them all in video format.
listen to
Or
our
if you
podcast.
just want to listen to a podcast as a podcast, you can go to iTunes. You can go
Or
to
Spotify.
Spotify. In fact, you can play it through any of your normal, wonderful, beautiful podcast providers.
Yep.
And just find Two White Muslims, and twice a week, one will drop into your inbox.
So if you listen to us on a morning
Yes.
or drive time on a Monday, if you
Yes.
listen to us
Yep.
and you like the things that we say and you like
Yes.
the way that we talk and you like the way that we are,
And you crazy mixed up fool, you want more of it.
if you did, that's a bad day.
That's a terrible
When
day.
you decide that you want more of this stuff,
Yes.
you know you're having a bad day.
Yes.
But if you do, what we do is we take our radio shows
Yep.
and we debunk them.
Yes.
What does that mean? We take out all the adverts,
Yep.
we take out all the nasheeds, we
All the-
take out all the stuff in
all
between.
the fluff comes
All
out.
the stuff in between.
What's left
Just
is
our
30
talky
seconds
bits.
of us talking.
Just our, just our talking
No, it's
bits.
like, some
It's
of them
an
are 2
hour.
hours.
I know.
Some of them are an hour and a half, 2 hours.
I know. So if you just like it,
Extraordinary.
if you want to listen to our talky bits
Yes.
with no clutter in between,
Yes,
go and listen to the podcast.
that's what you need to be
Inshallah.
doing.
Inshallah. So, shameless plug for
Yes.
our podcasts.
That said,
That done?
today,
Yeah.
we have a list.
Do we?
We have a little list.
Fantastic.
We're going to
You know,
consider. some-
we never talk about this on the way over. We talk about
No, we
all
don't.
sorts of stuff, but
We do.
never this.
Never this.
And it's not
I keep
until
it a secret.
it's not until
It's a secret.
we sat down
Yep.
and we've played the intro and we've
Yep.
played a couple of adverts and maybe a nasheed.
Yep.
And we settle into our talky bit, our first talky
Yes.
bit, that you reveal
Yes.
that you have come with a list.
And even these, I do them cryptically at
Yeah.
this point.
Yep.
They're
I have
cryptic.
no idea what's
Nope.
coming on this list.
Nope.
And do you know, it's safer that way.
Yes.
Safer that way.
It is.
You wouldn't want to catch me with an opinion, would you?
Well, the other thing,
A pre-formed opinion.
if we talked about these in the car on the way across, we'd have nothing to talk
We'd
about
have nothing
now.
to talk about now. That's right.
So we have to travel across in silence so that we've got something to talk about now.
When did that last happen?
well,
I
to be
remember.
fair.
It's when you went to sleep
I went
for
to sleep.
4 hours on the way. You
Yeah.
were just snoring.
And then I woke
for
up and
4
went,
hours.
I think I might have dozed off there. You went, for 4 hours?
Dozed?
Dozed?
You were positively...
I've been
you-
braking.
you-
I've been swinging the car left
I've
and
been
nothing.
beeping the horn. Beep, beep. Nothing.
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 4 hours.
Oh, I turned the radio up to 11.
Yes. I was like, I think I might have been a little tired. A little tired?
A little tired. You were
4 hours.
unconscious, my friend. you were in a coma
Oh,
for
dear.
4 hours. Crazy stuff. So
What we are going to consider, what's
on the list?
We're going to look at keeping fit.
Keep fit.
We are going to consider keeping fit.
I'm into that.
I know.
I'm into it at the moment.
I keep saying I need to start.
I'm
do need
into
to. I'm
it.
paying for me gym. I may as well go.
I know.
Oh, it's a little bit of a challenge finding the time, because the good lady with your good lady seems to be there all the time.
They are, and I tell you,
and with 3 young kids,
yeah.
somebody's got to stay and look after them.
Somebody's got to look after them.
I say look after them. Somebody else has got to be in the house.
Yeah, yeah, because they kind of look after themselves.
Look after themselves. You know what I mean? They're like fish.
Yeah.
You know, make sure that with a dog, you have to look after the dog. You have to feed the dog. You have to stroke the dog. You have to do these.
Yeah.
With fish,
dogs are very needy.
With fish, you look after the tank.
Yes.
As long as the water's okay, the fish will look after itself.
That's fine.
Yes.
Yeah, and a drop of food every so often.
Exactly.
It's fine.
So yes. We're going to consider keeping fit. We're also going to look at some of the horrible things people have done to each other in the past, and we're going to consider just how Islamic that is. Not. Yes. Yes.
People have done some horrific things.
They have.
And what was it Henry Ford said? The one thing that we learn from history is that we don't learn from history.
Absolutely right. He also said, whether you think you're right or you think you're wrong,
you're right.
You're right.
Yes.
Whether you think you can or you think you can't, you're right. That's it. Yes. We are going to prove that the 2 white Muslims are
right.
Always right.
We're always right.
Always.
About everything that we ever talk about.
Everything.
We are font of genius.
Font of genii.
We are.
Genius.
We are. There's no doubting it.
Yep.
There's no doubting.
There's no getting away from it.
We are absolute genius.
Genius.
We are right in everything that we ever say.
Everything.
Alhamdulillah.
So we're going to confirm that. We are on the run-up to Ramadan. We're on the run-up to Ramadan.
It's exciting.
It is exciting.
It's exciting.
So I can't help but think we might be talking about that at some point.
Inshallah.
Just exploring that a little bit.
Inshallah.
And then, do you know what? There's some people out there think they're having a bad day.
It's not always the case, is it?
It's not always. Now, we're not talking about the major calamities.
No,
we're not talking about tragedies.
No.
We know that we lose people. We might be ill. We know that these things happen. We're not talking about those. No. We're not talking about them. Oh, you didn't get a seat on the bus.
Yeah.
Really? Is that an excuse to have a bad day?
You missed your favourite programme.
You missed your favourite programme.
And your skybox isn't working.
Oh, your alarm didn't go off this morning. And you were a little bit late for work. Really? Never. But and that's the reason to have the entire day is bad.
No.
You dropped your toast, butter side down.
That
really
is not going to spoil your day.
Really? Oh, you went downstairs, there were no tea bags. Really?
If you think you're having a bad day, let us show you what a bad day really looks like.
Let us compare.
Let us
my friends.
show you what a bad day is.
Yes. And that's pretty much our list.
Oh, that sounds pretty really exciting.
Our list.
Exciting. I'm happy with that list.
Yes.
And I think I'll have a few things to say about some of the items on that list.
I think you might. There's one of which I'm looking at that you definitely will. But yes, I think you could be right.
Look forward to it.
Hey.
So shall we, given that we're...
make a start.
By contract,
we
have to do
this.
A bit of this. Assalamu alaikum.
Wa rahmatullahi.
Wa barakatuh. You know when you say nothing's happening?
Nothing's happening.
You know why?
You hadn't slid the slider.
That's right.
You hadn't slid up the slider. Up. You haven't slid up the slider.
Look, I have upped yours. Right. So... You sound a little bit poorly.
I'm feeling a little under the weather.
Okay. So given that you've been coughing and sneezing in the car all the way across,
up. Yes.
Does that mean I'm going to be a little bit poorly in a couple of days?
It certainly does. I'm hoping over the weekend because then I won't get it back.
Thanks.
Well, I'm saying that. No, we're out Friday.
We're out Friday.
Are we out? We must be out over the weekend. We must. I
think we are.
We probably are. My goodness.
We've got things on.
It's seven days a week.
It never stops.
Never stops. Not complaining, by the way. This is brilliant.
So am I. I love it.
Yeah. You just have to factor that in.
Yep.
What I get, you get.
We're caring, sharing people. That's right.
Yeah. If there's one thing you can say about the both of us, when it comes to germs, we're happy to share.
We're happy to share.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Have a bit of this.
we will happily stand on a stage in front of hundreds of people and sneeze and cough all over them.
Oh,
You know when you've been to a gig? Yeah,
Yes.
two white Muslims gig.
You do.
Because 3 days later,
Yep.
you start with a hideous cold.
it's like with a hideous cold. You start saying, "My head hurts.
My head hurts.
Do you know? I'm feeling. That I've got a little tickle.
I'm feeling a bit under the weather.
I'm feeling a tad under the weather.
I'm not quite myself.
Oh. I don't know why, but one of the funniest Viz things I saw was it was just a picture of a bloke, and it says, "Oh, I think I've eaten something that disagrees with me," and then there's a speech bubble coming from his stomach. So he says, "I think I've eaten something that doesn't agree with me," and from his stomach it says, "No, you haven't." I don't know why, but that really tickled me. I used to love Viz.
So did
Oh
I.
my
So did I.
goodness!
Fantastic.
Do you know that started with some bloke just drawing those
Yep.
on a piece of paper, photocopying them,
Yeah.
and selling them on the
Sending
streets?
them around. Yeah.
Turned into a worldwide phenomenon.
Fantastic.
Just shows if you've got it right,
yeah, absolutely.
people want it.
You got the formula.
If you've got the formula,
if you mix it well,
yes,
and people like it, then you can sell it all day long.
yes,
Yeah, fantastic.
And the great thing, because the other thing is, and then people will also try and nick it and copy it. People tried with Viz, but they just couldn't do it.
No,
it takes a certain brain. I
you've
think.
got a certain mindset.
Yes,
that has got to be involved in creating that kind of stuff.
Roger
I
Murray.
remember reading one that said something. It was one in the comments pages.
Yes, yeah.
And it said something like, "I was always told never to believe anything that I read in the papers. Unfortunately, I only use papers for the TV listings, and I end up missing all my favourite programs."
There was one in the comments thing. It said something like, "It was handy hints. Save time and energy by only looking one way on a one-way street." And then it says another one. Avoid. In response to your comment of this week, so you know that they've made it up because they couldn't possibly respond. In response to your comment of this week, avoid serious injury by looking both ways on a one-way street, just in case a truck is reversing.
Or in case you've looked the wrong way the first time.
Yes. What was it? Improve the taste of fat-free yogurts by stirring in a teaspoon of lard. It's just brilliant.
Fantastic. Fantastic. These fat-free yogurts.
Yes.
And my missus is on this health kick.
Yes.
She is.
Yes.
And she's going to the gym 3, 4, maybe even 5 times a week.
Yes.
She's going
with my
into
good lady.
With your
They go
good
together.
lady.
It's brilliant.
They go together.
Yeah.
I'm scared,
I know, they do come back. They've talked.
They've talked.
I
can tell that they've talked.
I can tell they've talked.
Because she knows stuff about me.
And I'm in trouble.
I know.
Absolutely. Why don't I know about that? Because it's not confirmed yet. Yusuf's told his wife. I'll tell you everything then, and then you can be disappointed when it doesn't happen.
That's what I do. I tell her everything.
Two
on
very
the basis,
different tactics we have.
On the basis
Yes.
that if I don't tell her,
and
when it
happens.
actually happens, it's, you kept that a secret.
Yes, yeah.
Why didn't you tell? When did you know about this? Why didn't you tell me before?
Yeah. Whereas I don't say anything, because if I say something and then it doesn't happen, well, what about such? You said. And now they get together. It's a nightmare.
It's a nightmare. We should ban them. We should ban them from
You
meeting.
get together, just don't talk. Go in a spin class. Yusuf says you can't even breathe.
You can't. Let alone talk. No, there's no chance. All you can do is make guttural noises.
Oi, ladies.
Spin.
Oh my goodness.
No, ridiculous. I mean, I understand going on a bike ride because you get places.
Yes.
But in that
there's
place,
something to it.
oh man, you're just pedaling like crazy and getting nowhere. And that woman at the front, the woman at the front taking the class,
Yes.
she is not human. I'm
Not.
telling you,
She's inhuman.
She cannot be of this planet.
Yeah.
She can't. She's kind of the Terminator. She is.
Yes.
She is.
Has she got one glowing eye?
She might as well have, honestly, because she can pedal faster than I can even imagine pedaling, and she can do it standing up, and she can do it waving her arms around in the air,
Yeah.
and talking at us at the same time.
And talking.
Unbelievable.
I get out of breath talking. Full stop.
Yeah.
Full stop. I come with a training course. I mean, leaning against the wall. Hang on, I could pass out.
I had to keep stopping. Honestly, I had to keep stopping, and she was looking over at me, and she was shouting over, "Are you all right? Are you all right?
Are you okay?"
Oh, with my arm up saying, "Yeah, I'm okay."
Can you taste burnt toast? Is it like you nicked a battery? Are you having a stroke?
I got off my bike at one point, went to the front, got some of that paper towel stuff to mop my brow. I did. I had to get some water down me quick as well.
Oh, I bet.
And I said at the end, I have not had exercise or done anything as energetic as that since 1979. And that's when I reluctantly did a half marathon. Honestly, I thought I was going to die.
Do you know, I once got halfway through a marathon.
Did you?
Yeah, got bored, switched off the television. Hey. Yeah. But talking about the Terminator, I don't know if I've mentioned this. I was listening to a podcast, and it was Johnny Vaughan.
Yep.
Love Johnny Vaughan. I think he's so funny.
Yep.
And he has this thing where people write in and explain their mates' nicknames.
Yeah.
So don't just write it with the nickname, because then it's just a name. We need the explanation.
Yeah.
And there's all these different ones, and they're brilliant. But they had one, and they called the guy the Terminator.
Yeah.
And he goes, not because he's got a funny accent or because he just keeps going. It's because every single time he goes out on a night out, just one eye goes red. So they call him the Terminator. That's brilliant.
Fantastic.
Oh, great stuff.
Well, you know my youngest brother's classic story of his mate and how he got his nickname.
Right.
Okay, so this guy split up from his missus.
Okay.
Very unfortunate. And
Yes.
he was lost without her, and he didn't know what to do. He didn't know. And he was out with Mick and a few more mates.
Yes.
And he was saying stuff like, "Well, I've never cooked. I don't know what to eat. What can I even eat?
Can't even make toast."
And this guy said, "Why don't you get some of that boil in the bag stuff?" Yeah, it's easy. You just stick it in boiling water.
Yeah.
And then 10 minutes later, it's good. It's good to go. It's good to go. Oh, all right, I'll try that. Thanks, I'll try that. Yeah. So the next time they were out, you said, "So did you try that boiling the bag stuff?" He went, "Oh yeah, I didn't like it. It was too watery. It didn't taste of oat." He said, "Well, what did you do?" He said, "I cut the bag open, tipped it in, like you said." He went, No. Boil in the bag.
In the bag.
In the bag. So you're supposed to put the bag
The whole
in boiling
bag
water,
goes in.
not just what's
Not just the
inside
rice.
the bag. So his name from that point onwards
Was
Boil in the
Boil
bag.
in the bag. Where's Boil?
Where's Boil in the bag?
Oh,
Where is it?
brilliant.
Boil in bag.
Brilliant.
I could tell you about the guy that got the nickname Cock of the Bus, but I'll leave that for another time.
Yeah. Moving on. Oh, but there's some classics. And we've got your buddy Fred.
Yeah.
Who is a builder, plumber, bricky,
Joiner, bricky, chippy,
sparky.
He's everything. He's everything.
Extraordinaire.
He's a genius.
He's an artist.
He's a genius.
Is what he is. He's an artist.
He is.
And he's been yours and Rob's mate for, well, he said it's got to be 50 years. 40 odd years or something.
It's 40 odd years.
Yeah, 40 odd
yeah.
years.
Yeah.
And and you very kindly introduced us because I needed a bit of work done in the house. He's coming doing it. He's an artist. He's an absolute artist. But it's so funny because he'll be chatting away because he likes to talk, doesn't he?
He never stops.
He'll be chatting away and he'll say, and then this kid called Steve, but we know him as Clink.
Yeah.
And then Bob, but we know him as Red Roy. You know, and everybody's got a nickname. And you just know there's a story behind it.
You ought to ask him some of those
and
stories.
you just think, this is
They
brilliant.
are
It's
hilarious.
just the way he'll say, and then there's Colin, but we know him as Pants.
Yeah.
What? And every single person, he gives the name, but we know him as.
Yeah.
As if it matters to me. Do you know? I don't know.
I've loved Fred. I've loved working with him.
Brilliant.
He comes with his own issues, does Fred?
He does.
Yeah, he's got his own issues.
Yeah.
He's got one or two idiosyncrasies,
Yeah,
shall we say?
Let's
Shall we
say.
say?
Yes.
A couple of
Haven't we all?
foibles and
Haven't we
idiosyncrasies.
all?
Oh, absolutely have.
He has certain opinions.
He does.
He don't mind voicing them, does he?
No, he doesn't. I said to him, what did I
When
say?
you study the queue at Wix.
What did I say to him yesterday? I said, well, it's our prayer time. Do you want to join us? He said, yeah. Is there a bar?
Yeah. Oh, dear. Oh.
But I once asked him, I said, Fred is not your real name, is it?
Mm.
And he stayed quiet. I said, what's your real name?
Yeah.
So I'm not telling you.
Yeah.
I said, oh, come on, I've known you for long enough.
Yeah.
What's your real name? He said, there's only 20 people know my proper name. And I said, what, 20? Who's that then? He said, my mum and dad and 18 coppers. He's a character, his friend.
Yeah. My mum had 16 coppers and 2 magistrates.
He's a character. But if you want any work doing, he's your man.
Oh, but it was the way he just goes. Yes, and then Pete came in, but we know him as Robin.
Yeah.
Right, okay. But we call him Doug.
Yeah.
And you just know there's a story behind every single one of them.
There is, and you may be surprised to hear this, but I've met some of these people.
Yeah. Oh yes.
And
yes.
my goodness me, there are stories behind every single one of them.
And he keeps giving these stories, and
it's not.
He's just there with your mouth open, but you know they're true.
Yeah, but we can't talk about them on
No.
We'd have the station closed down.
I mean, first of all, we'd have the station closed down, or fear of being sued.
Yeah.
I didn't want anybody to know that. Bloke who basically knocked his own house down.
Yep.
Oh dear.
Oh, that was ridiculous. Ridiculous. He was going for a loft conversion, this fella.
Yeah.
Going for a loft conversion, and he decided that, those beams
He
of
wants
wood.
sockets, yeah.
Those beams of wood that hold the roof
That
up.
go all the way round.
They're called purlins that hold the roof up.
Yeah.
Yeah. And he decided to
I want some
notch
sockets on them.
into those
Yeah.
to put some plug sockets into those beams.
And everybody, including Fred, said, you can't do that.
Can't do that.
You can't do that. You've got to mount them.
This is to hold your roof up.
This is holding significant weight.
You can mount sockets onto it.
Yeah.
But he said, no, I want the sockets to be flush.
Yeah, so
I want them inset. I want them to
Fred
be...
said, well, I'm not doing it. I'm going home. I'm not doing it. So what did this guy do?
He just did it himself.
Did it himself overnight. Got a hammer and chisel.
Chisel them out.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then he heard this almighty crack. And he called in another friend of ours who happens to be a structural engineer.
Yes.
Yeah. And said...
I can hear this. I can hear this noise.
Come and have a look at my loft, will you? Come and have a look at my loft. And Tim went up and he said, what do you think? What do you think? What do you think? And Tim said, what I think is this. You need to move your family into a hotel and get out of this house and do not come back until that has been rectified. Yeah. Because this house is going to cave in.
Going to fall over. It's not an if. It's a when.
Going to happen.
Wow.
It's going to happen. Do you know how they fixed it? Things called acroprops.
Right.
Now, they are metal posts.
Yes.
Adjustable size metal post with a flat plate on either top and bottom.
So if they're putting a lentil, if they're putting a, because I might put a doorway in.
Yeah. And you need a lintel.
And it's like a massive jack in it.
Do you know,
is in a way.
Massive,
you know what I mean?
yeah.
And it holds up the wall whilst they do stuff, and then they take it away. Yes.
And then they take it away. Yes. Once the lintel's in place, they can take the proper way.
Yes.
Job done.
Prop it, props it up. Yeah.
So they had to get a dozen acroprops and then plasterboard in front of them so nobody would know that they were there.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, and those acroprops to this day
will still be there.
Are still there holding that house
until
up.
Somebody says, do you know I'm going to extend this loft?
I'm going to extend this loft. And
shall we have them plasterboard away? Let's see what's behind it.
For a serious surprise when that happens.
Wow.
Do you know the things that you do?
Well,
we don't. Well, no, the things that some people do.
Yeah.
Terrible. Terrible.
Right, talk about things to do.
Yeah.
We're contractually obliged.
We've got
to do
a
bit
load of this to do. Assalamu alaikum.
Wa rahmatullahi.
Wa barakatuh.
Yeah, that's
the
mentality.
It's actually true that.
Yeah.
It's true that.
Yes.
Yeah, what Junaid's just said in this shortened break of ours is that we'll just press the button, start talking, something will crop up.
Something will crop up.
It always does.
Think of something.
Yeah, think of something.
Think of something.
So I'm now going to just keep saying, think of something.
Yeah.
Think of something. Until you actually think of something.
Because that was me saying, I've
of something.
not picked up my phone yet. And I went, don't.
It'll be all right.
Just press the slide, it'll be fine. be fine.
Be
It
all
always
right.
is.
Don't worry about it.
It always
Don't
is.
worry about it.
It always is. Oh, I've got a tragic one, but it proves us right again. Do we go with the tragic one, or is it too early in the morning for a tragic one?
No, bring some tragedy to people's lives, even first thing in the morning.
Yep. But
yes.
it's a good message.
But it proves us right,
It is a
as
good
usual.
message. It's a tragedy.
Is it the usual?
It is the usual.
Okay.
It is the usual.
So the two white Muslims are always right. On the subject of...
alcohol.
Absolutely.
Yes.
So...
Now, don't get me wrong.
On
We're
that
always
subject,
right. Full stop.
Yeah, we are.
But when it comes to this, there's nothing worse than a reformed anything.
That's right.
And so when it comes to alcohol, we've seen both sides of the fence, have we not?
Hey, it's bad stuff.
It's terrible
bad
stuff. It's terrible,
Bad.
terrible stuff.
Shouldn't be having...
How much is good for you?
None.
How much should you drink?
None.
Oh. And it's amazing how many people are coming around to that way of thinking. Do you remember was mentioning that students, of all people, was it 25% of all students now do not
drink? Yeah, absolutely. Because they recognise that it damages them.
It damages them. They do things that they wouldn't want to do.
Yep.
They get into situations that they wouldn't want to get into.
Yep.
Things happen
Yep.
that they would not necessarily want to happen, or the things that they would not necessarily do when they consume alcohol.
That's right.
So they've stopped. They've stopped. And
Alhamdulillah.
it's unbelievably expensive.
Yes.
For something that doesn't last more than a couple. You know what I mean?
Oh.
I don't want to mention what you do to it afterwards.
No.
You know what I mean? But everybody knows the phrase.
Yes.
It's up a wall.
Yes.
You know, and ridiculously expensive, and it creates nothing but problems.
Yes.
So, yes, we are always correct.
What did Homer say?
Oh, the creation of and solution to all of life's little problems. Well, if it didn't create them, you wouldn't need to solve
need
it.
the solution.
Oh,
That's right.
my goodness. Oh, my goodness. But he also said, because he's a diamond, I love him, he also said, he also said, if God didn't want me to be so fat, he'd have made gluttony a sin. Which I just love. It's so clever, that, on so many levels. It's so clever. Oh,
Fantastic.
Brilliant.
Fantastic.
So, absolute tragedy. Now, this happened quite a while ago.
Okay.
But we've just not had a chance to talk about it.
Okay.
But I think we need to.
Okay.
And it happened this is reported in BBC News.
Yep.
It was reported out of India.
Okay.
And it was a load of people who work in a tea factory. So
Right.
they're tea workers.
I've been to a tea factory.
Me too.
Amazing places.
Absolutely.
Did you go in Sri Lanka?
I did go in
Yeah,
Sri
same
Lanka.
here, same
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
We fed the elephants in the morning.
Yep.
And we went to a tea thing in the
I
afternoon.
washed an elephant and had a ride.
wow.
So I bathed it in a river. So I bathed the elephant in a river and scrubbed it down with coconut husks.
Yes.
And had a ride on the elephant. I had a shower.
Yes.
Given by the elephant because
Yeah,
it
of course
filled
it
its
does.
trunk and squirted it into the air.
Yes, yeah.
So we all got rained on.
Wow.
Yeah, did all of that and then went to a tea plantation
Yes.
and a tea factory. And isn't it amazing how they do the tea?
Oh, it's incredible.
Isn't it amazing what they actually
I mean,
do?
all processes I think are amazing because they've evolved from somewhere.
Yeah.
I was watching television the other day and it was how they make bread on an industrial scale.
I've seen it. I've
Oh,
seen
yeah,
it
you
because I
were
used
there,
to
haven't you?
work in a bakery
Oh.
when I was a kid, when I was a student. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, phenomenal what they do. Phenomenal how they do all of that.
Goodness.
Yeah, incredible.
But yes, so it's a load of tea workers, people who work in a tea factory so basically people who work in the same environment.
Yep.
And 130 of them have perished.
Ooh.
130 of them have passed away from
Go on.
drinking bootleg alcohol.
Oh no, why?
And it was toxic.
Oh.
The way it's been made, it's toxic.
Yeah.
So they're trying to get their hands on inexpensive alcohol because
Well,
once you get it, you want to get it for
ferment,
cheap.
They ferment all sorts of stuff and then
Absolutely.
distill it their own way, don't they?
Yeah.
And it's in that distilling process that they make it too potent
Yes.
and too powerful.
Yes.
And it actually kills them.
Yes.
Yeah.
And it can do
Terrible.
serious damage. There is a phrase, blind drunk.
Yes.
That's because you can drink to the point where it makes you
Blind.
blind.
Yes.
And that happened with a load of fake vodka. Well, not fake vodka. It was vodka.
Yeah.
But to give it the blue tinge that people seem to find trendy,
Yeah.
they'd put antifreeze in it.
Oh.
And that mixed with all the other stuff
Oh,
was sending people
terrible.
blind. It was and I remember that and that
Terrible.
was in and around Sheffield many years ago. I remember that happening.
Wow.
But at least 130 people died, and more than 200 have been treated in hospital after drinking toxic bootleg alcohol in northeastern India.
Oh, the poor souls.
Absolute tragic. The poor souls, tragic. And just this desire to have this stuff but have it relatively inexpensively means that people just sell rubbish.
They go to any lengths
Yes.
to ferment anything
Yeah.
and then distill it.
Yep.
It's
and
awful.
It has happened in this country
Yeah.
several times. There's been these
You
outbreaks.
know what
usually
amazes me?
coming from Eastern European countries.
The fermentation process
Yes.
is fascinating.
Right, okay.
Yeah, because what you'll typically do is you'll get a base, so that can be a fruit,
Yes.
or it can be a grain, or it
Right.
can, anything, any flavour,
Okay.
any flavour you like,
Yes.
and you put that base in you steep whatever you're using.
Yeah.
So, for example, you can make tea,
Right.
alcoholic.
Oh,
Yeah?
wow, okay.
So they make the tea, yeah, with water, boiling
Right.
water.
Yes.
They let it cool.
Yep.
They add loads of sugar to it,
Right.
and then yeast.
Yes.
Now, when you add yeast to sugar,
Yeah.
yeast likes sugar,
Okay.
and it reproduces. And it does it
Oh.
anaerobically. In other words, it doesn't need air.
Right.
It does it in the liquid. So it
Okay.
reproduces. And the byproduct of the reproduction of yeast
Yep.
is twofold.
Right.
Number one, it produces carbon dioxide
Okay.
and an equal weight of alcohol.
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah, equal weight of alcohol. So
Oh,
that's
my
why
goodness.
you get, in the fermentation process, it gets all frothy and it fizzes like mad because this
Right.
is the yeast just going mental
Oh, my goodness.
and reproducing at a massive rate.
Yes.
Because it's in sugar, that it loves sugar.
Right.
And it reproduces at an astonishing rate to create bubbles
Yeah.
of gas,
Yes.
which is carbon dioxide, and an equal weight of alcohol in the process.
Wow.
Now, it gets to a stage that liquid becomes so alcoholic
Yeah.
that it kills the yeast. So the yeast dies as a result of the alcohol that
it produces.
has produced
Oh, my goodness.
in that fermentation
So
process.
alcohol's not even good for yeast.
No, the stuff that makes it.
Whoa.
But what I find
There's a lesson
what
for
I find
you.
interesting is this. Okay, so the yeast dies and it falls to the bottom of the liquid and creates a sediment.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
So then it's siphoned off. The
Yeah.
liquid is siphoned
Yeah.
off,
What's left is the...
and that is the alcoholic beverage. That is
Yes.
the alcoholic drink.
yes.
So if you've used hops and grain and barley as your base,
Yes.
that becomes beer.
Right. Okay.
If you've used
Grapes
and
fruit.
different fruits, and you can use all sorts of things, that becomes wine.
Yeah.
And you know that's how they make these things. If you use juniper berries
Uh-huh.
and then take the resultant alcoholic liquid and distill it, that becomes gin.
Oh, my
If you
goodness.
take, and
Right.
all these processes take place.
Ah.
Yeah, if you use malt and then take the resultant alcoholic liquid and
gives
distill
whiskey.
that, it gives you whiskey.
Oh,
You know,
my
that's how they create these
goodness.
things. So they do this on a massive
Industrial scale. Yeah.
industrial scale.
Yeah.
But what happens is also that bootleggers try
Yeah.
this for themselves.
Yes.
Now, if they create the alcoholic beverage,
Yep.
that's fine,
Yep.
because there is not sufficient alcohol in volume. You would have to consume too much of it
Yes.
to cause you death.
Yes.
But when you distill this stuff,
Right.
you are getting rid of the water. You're getting rid of all the...
Of course you are.
and all you're left with is the pure spirit.
Right.
Yeah, so it's
Yeah.
like they're drinking meths.
Oh,
It's
my
like they're drinking
goodness.
petrol. It's like they're drinking this. And this is what bootleggers do,
Yeah.
because it's cheap and cheerful.
Yeah. Yep.
Anybody can do it
Yep.
with a simple condenser.
Distilled.
Liebig condenser is what they used in the science labs at school. Anybody can do it using one of those, and you can just get pure spirit.
Yep.
And then what they tend to do is water that back down,
Yes.
so that it is you're able to drink it.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, these people in these foreign lands don't quite get the full process.
Well, it's not just that. They also
And
don't care.
they-
So
they
they think,
like-
you want it blue? Let's put antifreeze in it.
let's
you want
have
this taste?
Oh.
Let's put this into it. You want
It's
it to
just-
smell like
it
this?
actually sickens
Let's
me.
put this in
Let's
it.
put perfume in it. Yeah,
Yeah.
it sickens me. But very interestingly, when we talked about the bakery on an industrial scale.
Yes.
Yeah. I worked at a bakery when I was a student, when I was a kid. And that bakery had an oven and a prover.
Right.
Now, the prover is on top of the oven, and the bread comes out into dollops of dough, into the tins. It goes into the prover, which is warm, but it's not cooking hot.
Right.
It's just warm.
It's not what, sorry?
Cooking heat.
Woo!
Careful how you say that. Careful how you... I mean, whoa! This is cooking hot. Whoa, this is cooking really hot. Cooking hot. So you've got to be careful, but it's not. It's warm is the prover. So the bread goes through on a conveyor belt, and because it's warm, the bread rises.
Yes.
How does the bread rise? How does that happen?
Oh, that's yeast, isn't it?
Yeah.
Right.
So I'll tell you how that happens. In dough, you have a small amount of sugar.
Right, okay.
And you have yeast.
Yes.
So the yeast does what in sugar?
I don't know.
It reproduces.
It does the same thing.
And
right,
it creates what?
More yeast.
It creates
alcohol and
carbon dioxide.
Right.
So the rising is from the bubbles of carbon dioxide trapped in the dough, and the dough rises.
Which is why you need it to make it all elastic first.
Exactly.
So that it's easier for it to...
Yes.
Wow.
So the dough rises because the yeast is fermenting.
Yeah,
with the sugar. When it runs out of sugar, it stops. So the dough will get to a certain stage where it's risen.
Yes.
And then you cook it. And the cooking process, the baking process... all that cooking process... we're not just like children.
I'm 48.
Like children. I'm 56. I'm still sitting here giggling like a small child.
Like a child. He said cooking.
Cooking. So, the cooking process.
They don't use fat. Do they use cooking fat? Sorry, carry on. The cooking process.
A friend of mine named his cat Cooking Fat.
Brilliant.
So, they use yeast in the process.
Yes.
So, the yeast ferments.
This is during the cooking process.
Yes. Yeast ferments, makes the dough rise because the dough traps in the carbon dioxide.
Yes.
But bearing in mind the fermentation process, that also contains what?
Some alcohol.
Alcohol.
Right.
So, the process of baking, I won't say cooking, baking, it evaporates the alcohol from within the bread.
Oh my goodness.
And you're left with bread. So when you look at a slice of bread really closely, you'll see tiny little bubbles.
Not always tiny, Sometimes when you cut through it, you've got a big bubble.
Yeah, sometimes you've got a big one,
Yes.
That's where the yeast went mental.
That's where the yeast went mental.
Absolutely.
Wow.
Just went for it.
Yeah. That's amazing.
So, there are some that say, I won't have anything that's had alcohol in it. So, for example, your French chefs do chicken and white wine sauce.
Yes.
So they pour in white wine. The process of cooking the chicken in the white wine evaporates the alcohol, so there's no alcohol left in it.
Right.
You're just left with the flavour.
Right.
And some people will say, no, I'm not eating that because it had wine in it.
It had wine in it.
It did.
Yeah.
But the alcohol's
beer
gone.
battered thing.
Your fish and chips made with beer batter.
Right.
Yeah. No, I'm not having that because it had some alcohol in it.
But bread at some point.
But they eat bread.
Wow.
They eat bread. And bread had alcohol in it.
We should raise this at the next
Absolutely,
party. This will make a right conversation.
Now, I'm going to ask this of our sheikh at the next Zikr meeting.
Yes.
Because I want his opinion on this.
Yes.
I look forward to it. Because isn't it true that Jibreel showed Adam how to make bread?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Yep.
And okay, so this is also a contentious point with all these people who say you shouldn't eat carbs, you should stick to protein. Well, I'm sorry, but Jibreel taught Adam how to make bread.
Yes. Yeah.
He taught him how to make carbs.
Yes. True.
Because you need that for your energy.
True.
Anyway, have we rabbited on for long enough?
I think we have. We have to.
Where did all that come from?
I don't know. I've
Where did
no
all
idea.
that come from?
It's not on my list.
No. We're right.
Yes,
We're right.
It was on my list.
Because
It was on my
alcohol
list. Alcohol.
is an absolute no-no
absolutely.
under any circumstances.
And some people here have perished
Absolute no-no.
as the result of their desire for
And
it.
these people have died.
Yes. Wow. So,
Frightening.
2 white Muslims are right. How much alcohol's good for you?
None.
How much did you drink?
None. How much does our religion tell you?
None.
None. Alhamdulillah.
0.
It's almost like Allah knows us.
I know.
It is.
Incredible.
He knows what's good for us. Alhamdulillah. Shall we stop this nonsense and do some of this?
I think we should.
Assalamu alaikum.
Wa rahmatullahi.
Wa barakatuh.
That was definitely a conversation that needed to be had during the break.
Yes, it did, didn't it? The stuff. I tell you, if there was a camera in the studio,
my goodness, yes, yeah.
Which if you look up,
Well, there is a camera. I just hope there's no microphone on it.
I think there is.
If there's a microphone on it, I just hope nobody's listening.
I think they do.
Well, if anybody's listening, I just hope they like us.
Look, we don't do that on air. Okay?
No, exactly.
You will notice that the mic live sign is off.
Yes.
When we talk about such things.
Absolutely.
Dear me. Oh, we could get fired.
Oh.
We could. Fired at least, or hung.
Yeah.
Hung, drawn, and quartered. Do you know what that phrase is?
Do you know?
Hung,
I do.
drawn,
and it's awful.
and quartered.
Yeah.
Weren't they awful in those days?
Yes, they were.
Weren't they horrible?
Yes, they were.
This was medieval times, wasn't it? And they'd hang somebody up.
Yes.
Yeah, and cut.
Well, first of all,
their throat.
Well, first of all, they would hang them up.
Yes.
But they would do it very, very carefully.
Yes.
Because when it's supposed to break your...
Yeah.
And that instant...
Yeah.
So what they do is pull you up very, very slowly.
Yeah.
So that you pass out.
Yeah.
And then they bring you down again.
Yes.
And then they take you back up again.
Yeah.
And then they bring you down again.
Yeah.
So it goes on and on.
Oh.
So the hung bit, or hanged, I never understood why it was hanged, not hung.
Yeah.
The hanged bit, that alone,
awful.
The drawn bit is when they pulled certain things out of the insides.
Well, yeah, they just cut you in the
breakfast show,
top to bottom and side to side.
Yes, let's say,
and giblets came
and everything
came flowing out.
Yes. And then
wasn't that awful in medieval times?
Yes.
But then what?
Then the quartered.
Go on.
Was literally cutting the body into four pieces and taking each piece into the four corners of England.
Wow.
As a warning to other people. The only thing that remained was a head, which went on a pike.
Yeah.
Outside not the tower. It was it
outside
London Bridge or something?
Yeah,
Tower Bridge.
Tower Bridge. Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, medieval times. Now, what year was medieval times? What was going on? What century was
That's
that?
a good question. What century
What
is
century
medieval?
was
Is
that?
it about 1500?
Is it?
Or would it be after that? Because, well, no, actually, it would be before that. Is it like the 10th century, 11th century for medieval?
Yeah.
But they were doing that right the way up to...
Yeah.
Well, let's be honest, they were doing horrible things up to about the 17th century.
Yeah, they were. So, that's in this country, in Europe.
Yes.
Yeah, in and around Europe.
Yes.
Okay. Medieval times, horrible stuff going on.
Yes.
Yet, what century was it when our beloved Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam gave us the rules of engagement?
Wow.
And said, you must not mutilate
don't do any of this
the dead.
anymore.
You must not. You must not.
Yes.
Must not. Not.
Yeah.
All these rules
Wow.
for even during times of warfare.
Yes.
You must not do this.
Yes.
You must not do that.
Yeah.
You must not do the other.
Yeah.
Yeah, and one of those was mutilate the dead.
Absolutely.
You must not do this.
Yes.
Yeah, and that then by that time, for that time scale, was about 500 years before.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah. So he was saying
Half
that
a
500
millennia.
years before.
Yes.
The Europeans were still doing that kind of stuff.
And a full millennia before they were still doing it.
Yes.
Because 1640s, 1650s was the English Civil War.
Yep.
Which is when Oliver Cromwell.
Yep.
Not just, I mean, people say it was Oliver. It wasn't just Oliver Cromwell. Yep. But he led the parliamentarians against the Cavaliers, the Royalists, and said basically, well, we don't want a royal family anymore. So I think we should have a go.
Yep.
And so the Roundheads, because of the helmets that they wore,
shape of the tin hat,
yeah, went against the Cavaliers because of the hats that they wore.
Yes.
And had a bit of a go. And many people, given the size of the population, many people were killed because it didn't sound like that many compared to World War One. I know, but think of the size of the population at the time.
In proportion to the numbers of people.
Third.
Yeah,
like a third of the population was decimated in that time.
Ouch.
But the thing was, the parliamentarians were successful.
Yep.
They got rid of Charles I. Only was it Charles I or Charles II? Charles I. Only king ever to be executed.
Yep.
So they did for him. Then it all turned around, and his son Charles II, I believe it was. I might be getting all of this wrong. I'll look it up. Not now, though. Can't be bothered. Came back to the throne.
Yep.
And they dug up the body of Oliver Cromwell and put it on trial.
No.
The body of Oliver Cromwell. The deceased body of Oliver Cromwell was dug up and put on trial.
Wow.
You never guess what? It's only found guilty.
Really?
Found it guilty.
Wow.
And then it suffered that fate.
Did it sentence it to death?
It sentenced it to death, but it mutilated it. It just comes back to what you say about our beloved prophet saying, no. Sallallahu alaihi wasallam. They say, no. Don't mutilate the dead. Then it just, they dug it up.
Oh,
dug it up and put it on trial and mutilated it. People are like, what? Yep.
Can you imagine?
Check your history books. It is true.
Treat the dead body like you would treat somebody who was alive.
Yes. Well, they did.
The ruling.
But unfortunately, how they treated the people that were alive wasn't particularly nice either.
Yuck. I have no idea. How did you get onto this subject?
I don't know.
Or was it me?
Fascinating. It's fascinating, isn't it? It's
hung, drawn and quartered. That's where we got.
Oh, yeah. Hung, drawn and quartered.
So why were we getting hung, drawn and quartered?
I don't know.
Yeah, for talking such nonsense.
For talking such nonsense. And what have we
During
done?
the break.
We've spoken more of it.
Oh, we've just talked nonsense.
We've just done it
nonsense.
on air now.
We've just done it. The Mic Live's on.
It's Mic Live. I can see a red light that says Mick Live.
Oh, no.
Mick, M-I-C.
Have we said anything that we might regret?
What?
Have we said anything that we might regret?
I don't know.
Yeah,
we'll have to listen to it back. That'll be in a week.
But we'll
get over it. That's only when I put the podcast together.
Have we ever said anything that we might regret? Yes. Everything that we've said over the last...
Everything that we've said.
50 years.
Everything that we've said. We've wandered into a few minefields.
We have.
I think we've extricated ourselves with caution, care, sensitivity, and a lot of luck.
And I was about to say intelligence, but actually...
I'll go with a lot of luck.
No, luck.
Yes. Oh, my goodness.
Fantastic. Oh. So, I mean, how long can we carry on talking?
I don't know.
Spurious nonsense.
Well, if we're talking horrible things that happened in the medieval... If we're talking horrible things that happened in the medieval times, I could go on for a long time.
Yeah. Did you
I don't think we should.
Did you ever go to the museum in York?
Oh, it's brilliant.
That Jorvik.
Oh, the Jorvik one's phenomenal.
I loved it.
Shall I tell you how old that is?
Go on.
My grandma took me, and I was probably about 8 or 9. So that's 40 years ago.
Wow.
And do you know what was really special about it? Well, first of all, for people that don't know what the Jorvik Viking Centre gives you a little bit of a clue.
Yes, it does.
But it's in York, and they were digging about, and they found an entire Viking settlement.
Yes, they did.
So they thought, well, we're going to re-establish this.
Yeah.
But to make it really cool, they created this where you actually get on a... Well, I'm telling you like you don't know. You get into a little car thing, and it drives you through this village.
Yep.
And there's figures there, what have you. But they've got the noises.
And the smells. And it stinks.
Yes. So you go past food, you think, oh, and then you go past animals, and you go, oh, and then you go past where they've dug a toilet, you think, oh, but it's phenomenal.
Yeah,
absolutely phenomenal, because York is steeped in history. Because everybody at that York is pretty much the centre of the country.
Yes,
so everybody went there.
Yeah,
the Romans went there.
Yeah,
the Vikings went there. Sheffield United went there.
Where were the Vikings from?
We've had this conversation. Viking land.
Viking land. I think you'll find it was Viking land.
I think you'll find it was Viking land. But the Jorvik Viking Centre was just amazing.
Yep.
Amazing. And what they also have in York...
Do you know, I like York full stop.
Yes, me too.
I love the architecture.
Me too.
I love the history. I love all of it.
Whilst we're saying the Vikings went there and the Romans went there, but then many kings through England went there.
Yeah.
Because one of the big issues with regards to when William Wallace got his band of merry men together and came down from Scotland, he sacked York. He got all the way to York.
Wow.
And so, that's what was that, about 700, 800 AD, something like that? Or 1,000? It's
don't know.
Again, over
Long
a
time
millennia ago. Yeah. And then many king York was a massive spot 'cause it was smack bang in the middle of England.
Yep.
And you think, what? So the things that they find there are amazing, and they keep finding things. It's incredible. And then you go to a car park in Leicester, find yourself a king.
Yeah. How did that work?
I know, amazing.
How did that happen?
Amazing. I
This skeleton here has got a curved spine?
Yeah. Well, first of all, we found some bones. We need to get the police in. The police came in and said, "No, they're really, really old bones. Don't worry about it." And then somebody went, "Got a bit of a curvature, this one.
Yeah.
I wonder if it could be." I mean,
And
how
it
does
was.
that? And it was. How does that work?
Digging up a car park.
Yes.
To lay some foundations for a building.
And actually
and
find
you find a king.
And you find a king.
Wow.
You find a skeleton.
Yeah.
And then it turns out to be a royal skeleton.
Yeah.
I can't get my head around that.
It's amazing.
It is
amazing.
Absolutely incredible.
Amazing. The things they did in history.
Yes.
It's a wonder anybody survived.
I know.
Isn't it? And it's a wonder that anybody survived with any sense of purpose.
Yes.
Yeah, and it's a wonder that people survived with anything really.
Yeah.
You know, any moral, any etiquette, any any decent behaviours.
Yeah.
It's incredible how things have changed.
Yeah.
Yeah, but have they?
Well, I was just about to say, it's kind of an example of just how little human beings can be trusted to do things for themselves.
Yes.
They need a guidebook. They need some guidance. They need a little bit of... because without it...
They need a bit of divine help.
Yeah, without it, it's Lord of the Flies.
It is.
It just is, He's a little tubby.
It's just awful what people do.
It's terrible. Yeah. Left to their own devices.
Man's inhumanity to man.
Yes.
Yeah.
To
mankind. It's awful what people actually do.
Yes.
So yeah, we need to establish some rules. We
yes.
need a bit of guidance. Yep. We need a bit of divine intervention from time to time.
If only there were maybe a guidance in the form of some form of religion.
Oh, do you know
that
what
people could look into?
If only
there was
a creator.
A creator.
And if only
he found a way of getting that message onto this earth.
If only he sent people to tell us what to do.
Yes, and if only they recorded it.
And if only it was written down.
Maybe written down.
In books.
Or just
perhaps.
Repeated by people talking it a lot.
Or just
Talking it. That's not very good grammar.
Just reciting.
Reciting. Talking it.
Recital. Yeah, talking it.
Talking it.
All they did was talk. They talked it.
When they get to mosque and
talked it. Yeah. I go to mosque and talk it.
I tell you, they've got this lad over from Saudi. He talks it so well. Honestly, you'll love it. You'll love it.
Nay, he sings it.
He sings it right good.
Sounds beautiful.
He sings
really
it right
good. But if only our Creator had sent people
yes.
with a message
yes.
and they wrote it down and
maybe
they refer back
to be repeated and repeated and refined and refined and repeated and refined and repeated and refined to the
over
point where it's perfect.
124,000 of these people.
Yes.
Up until and maybe he did, but maybe then he just said, "Look, I've told you 124,000 times.
Yes.
And if that's not enough, I've had it.
Yeah.
Now.
Last chance.
You've had it, lads.
Yeah.
Because this one is the last one.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm going to make this comprehensive.
I'm going to say, on this day,
you keep losing it.
We have completed our favour on you. We have given you your religion.
Yes.
And it will be called Islam.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So,
and he also can say, you keep losing it.
If only
so I'll tell you what
happened.
we'll do. We'll get people to recite it.
Yeah.
And memorise it.
Yeah.
You can write it down as well, but let's have people memorise it because you keep losing it when you write it down. Tablets of stone, where did they go? Lost them.
Don't know.
Lost them. So written down, but it was also there to be recited.
Yeah.
And utter perfection.
Yeah.
But there you go. There you go. Refined and perfected.
If only, eh?
If only such
only
a thing
that
existed. Hey? If anybody could think of anything, If anybody can think,
Answers on a postcard.
Answers on a postcard or sealed envelope to BBC. What was it?
TWM.
TWM HQ at
HQ at
TWM HQ. Oh dear.
Fantastic, isn't it?
Brilliant.
Fantastic. So yeah,
Brilliant.
In history we've done some horrible things. We've done some appalling things.
Yes.
Yet we have known since the 6th century
Yeah.
that we shouldn't be doing any of that.
Well, the issue is we've known since before that.
Well, we've known since the first man.
Yes, this is
And
the
the
issue.
woman
This is the issue,
came
and
down.
it took a point where it had to be refined and perfected, and put in a book, and also repeated and recited.
Yeah.
But even there, some people aren't quite getting the message.
I know.
So we've got to get on the rooftops and shout it out.
Shout it out.
Shout it loud.
Yeah. Just be nice.
Yeah, that's another
Be
way.
nice to people.
Yes.
Yeah, be nice to people.
Yeah.
Be dutiful.
Encourage them to read.
Be dutiful to your religion.
Yes.
Yeah. Be dutiful to your creator.
Yes.
Because that's all we're here for, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's all we're here for. We're not here to build business, make money, drive fast cars. I mean, it's all nice when you can do that.
Yep.
But that's not what we're here for.
No.
We can do all of that alongside
Yes.
worship of
One
of
does not
Allah.
exclude the other.
That's right. We can do all that alongside what we're actually here for.
Yes.
And what we're actually here for is to show gratitude and worship Allah.
Exactly. But also contractually
no idea-
obliged to do a bit of this.
What, right now?
Right now.
Okay. Assalamu alaikum.
Wa rahmatullahi.
Wa barakatuh.
How you feeling?
Alhamdulillah.
Me too.
Alhamdulillah.
Me too.
And for any non-Muslims out there,
Yes.
or for any Muslims who don't know what the word Alhamdulillah
Fair
means,
comment.
hamd is praise.
Yes.
Alhamdulillah. Praise be to
Allah.
Allah.
Brilliant.
Alhamdulillah. You know, we say it all the time.
Yep.
And there are people out there that don't understand the meaning
Yes.
of it.
Yeah.
They just say it because that's what the dad used to say.
Yeah.
Or that's what the mates down the mosque say.
That's what the mum
You
says.
know, you say Alhamdulillah.
Yeah.
Yeah. When it's praise to Allah.
Yes.
Praise be to Allah. Praise be to Allah.
Yeah.
And that's how the start of the Surah Al-Fatiha, that's how it starts. Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen. Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen. You're saying Alhamdulillah, praise be to Allah. Rabbil Alameen, the Lord, the Lord of the Alameen, the whole of creation, the worlds. In plural, not just this world, but all the worlds in the universe. Alhamdulillah. Love that word. And we should get used to saying that word more and more each time. Whenever anything good happens, we say Alhamdulillah.
Yes.
Whenever anything bad happens, we could say Alhamdulillah, because this might only be a test. And when you say Alhamdulillah, you're acknowledging that this is a test from Allah, and you're going to endure this test. Inshallah, you're going to endure this test with sabr, with patience.
Yes.
So say Alhamdulillah under all circumstances. It's a truly beautiful thing to say.
Yes.
And our Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam said to one of the Sahaba, when the Sahaba went to him and said, I fear that I'm finding it too difficult to do the additional prayers and the additional things, rather than just the fard things, the obligatory things.
Yes.
I'm finding it too difficult to do the extras.
Yeah.
And what did our Prophet Muhammad, may the peace, blessings and mercy of Allah be with him, what did he say?
Go on.
He said, your tongue should always be moist with the remembrance of Allah.
Wow.
So all you have to do is, and if you can't say it out loud, if you're embarrassed, or if it's not appropriate in the environment that you're in, say it to yourself.
Yes.
Just say Alhamdulillah.
Yeah.
Because it doesn't have to be vocalized for Allah to know that you're because he knows your thoughts.
Yes.
Alhamdulillah. I love that word. And you know what? We've recently had a sister comment on the fact that she likes listening to our stuff because we say the word Alhamdulillah.
And she likes how we say it. I'm hoping that's a good thing.
I'm hoping it's a good thing. Because I do know that I speak Arabic with a Yorkshire accent.
With a Yorkshire accent.
Because guess why?
Allah
Guess why?
Akbar.
Guess why? Alhamdulillah. Hey up,
Hey up, Yoth. Subhanallah.
We shouldn't mock.
No, we're not mocking. We're not mocking. We're not mocking. There are people that speak like that.
We're mocking ourselves.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Ourselves.
We use these words.
May Allah
these
forgive
words.
our inadequacies.
Yes.
And
we use these words because we love these words.
Forgive the way that we speak.
Silly.
Yeah. We forgive our silliness.
Yes.
But we do it all in good humour.
Yes.
Well, humour.
Humour. Yes.
Humour.
Yes.
Well,
an attempt.
At humour. Yeah.
We do it in an attempt at humour.
No, actually,
do these attempts work?
We just do it.
Oh.
So anyway, where are we? What are we doing?
Are we feeling
what are we talking about?
Are we feeling good?
Alhamdulillah.
So we're not having a bad day. We're having a
great day.
A great day. Now there's some people out there think
they're having a bad day.
Yeah, absolutely.
I've met them. I know some people that think that all the time.
Yeah, because they were really looking forward to having a cheese sandwich, and they buttered the bread, and then they went to the fridge. No cheese. Bad day. Terrible day. The milk's gone off. Terrible day.
Actually, that's illegal.
Yes.
In my house, that is illegal.
Somebody cut them up in traffic. They went out to the car and the car was dirty. They cleaned the car yesterday. They polished the car yesterday, and a bird and a laugh today.
Yeah.
Yes, you're having a terrible day, aren't you? A terrible day. Well, listen, you're not. Ignore those little things.
We're going to show you now.
Yes.
What a bad day looks like.
Yes. This is in the Liverpool Echo.
Okay.
And it says, people in this Liverpool tower block haven't been able to get out for 5 weeks.
What?
5 weeks.
What?
They have been stuck in their flats for 5 weeks.
Hang on a minute. This is a tower block, not a prison.
This is a tower block, not a prison. Absolutely.
What?
And do you still think you're having a bad day?
What's going on?
You couldn't get a seat on the bus this morning. Do you still think you're having a bad day?
That's a bad
You went
day.
under the underpass and there was too much water in it and someone in your sock. Do you still think you're having a bad day?
No.
These guys have not been able to leave this tower block for 5 weeks.
That's crazy.
5 weeks.
Crazy.
Elderly people living in a 14-storey Liverpool tower block haven't been able to get out of the building for 5 weeks because of a broken lift.
Okay,
so it's a 14-storey building.
When the lift breaks,
is broken.
When the lift breaks,
yes.
What do you get?
Annoyed in this instance.
Annoyed, but then you get an engineer.
You get an engineer in.
And the engineer comes and fixes it.
Yes.
And that can be done in a matter of...
Well, you would hope minutes, certainly hours, at least a day.
Yeah.
Not 5.
Not 5 days.
Not 5 days.
No.
Oh.
Unbelievable.
The son of one of the women who live in the tower block said people on some of the upper floors are relying on neighbours to get them food.
Yes.
Because they cannot get out.
No.
They cannot get out. Chris Fallon, whose mum lives in the block and is able to use the stairs to get out of the building, said the lift serving the odd-numbered floors has been broken for weeks.
Wow.
Now, there's another lift that serves the even-numbered floors. Yes. And as such, the lift engineers haven't come out because they've said, well, just walk a floor.
Oh, come on.
But not everybody can.
No.
There are elderly people.
If you use a Zimmer frame, you cannot use stairs.
You cannot do it.
If you are in a wheelchair you cannot use stairs.
Do it.
If you have bad hips and knees, like my mum, for example, she cannot use stairs.
Absolutely.
And that's up or down. Because it's as painful going down, in fact, more so to some people, dependent on what joint is defective and painful for them. It's more painful going down than it is up.
Yes.
So I guess the engineers are saying, well, that's all right, just take the lift to a floor above and walk down a flight. Who can't do that?
Who can't do that? Well, there are plenty of people.
Hundreds and hundreds and thousands of people that can't do that.
Yes.
And a lot of them living in that tower block.
It would appear.
That is disgusting. Who was the landlord?
I'm not going to mention it on air, but it does actually specifically say.
Does it?
Yes.
Okay. Is that a private landlord?
No, it's not.
Is it a council?
No, it's not.
Oh, right.
No.
Is it so it's a housing association.
No, it's a corporate.
It's a corporate, right.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Right.
And so, you would think they'd be straight on it. No.
They need whipping.
Yes, they do.
Yeah, with no trial.
And it's a major
Just
corporate
whip
that
them
everybody
in-
here would have heard of.
Whip them into shape.
Yes.
Yeah, because that is disgusting.
Yep.
And what those tenants ought to do is refuse to pay their rent for that period of time.
Well,
because their
whilst
property
it's owned by, I think it may well have a lawful of council tenants.
Right.
Do you know what I mean? So it's
Yeah.
owned by a corporate.
Yeah, but
there's
the council pay the rent.
Yes.
Well, I
is
think
my understanding based
the
on
council
the
ought to step up.
description of some of the. Yes.
The council ought to step up
Exactly.
and front that company
5
and just say, we are not paying rent for that 5 week period. Yeah, because you have failed to supply appropriate
Adequate
housing
services.
For your tenants.
Absolutely.
Therefore, you can whistle for your money, is what that council ought to be saying.
That's what they should be saying.
And if I was council leader,
yes,
and
he said, "I can't hear you whistling."
If I was
I can't hear you whistling.
I'd be there. I'd be knocking on the door.
Yeah,
we're knocking on the door saying, "We need to have a conversation, mate."
Yes.
What do you mean you haven't got time?
Absolutely.
You have got time.
Terrible.
You have got time because our direct debit to your firm finishes today.
Yes.
Yeah. So when you find, I'll tell you what, the direct debit stops today.
Yep.
So you tell me when you've got time to talk. I'll be in my office.
Yes.
See ya.
Bye.
And you just walk.
Bye.
They'll come and follow you, won't they?
Yep.
You will not get as far as your car before they
my
drag you back
goodness.
in and say, would you like to sit down and while you're here,
Yes.
would you like some tea and biscuits?
Yep.
While we have this talk.
So you think you're having a bad day?
Oh, subhanallah.
No. Oh, you were writing. You could only find a pencil.
I get annoyed.
And the pencil broke.
I get annoyed.
Oh, what a terrible day!
I get so annoyed at the treatment.
You wanted to sew the hem up on your shavar kameez, and you couldn't find your needle and thread.
Oh, hang on a minute. Hang on a minute.
Terrible day.
Whoa.
Oh, it's awful, isn't it?
Who sews hems?
I don't know.
You just get the tape.
Oh, well,
magic
yes.
tape.
But if you haven't got any tape,
iron it.
then you can't do it, can you?
Yeah, and if you haven't got an iron, you
what
can't
a
do that
terrible day.
Well,
What you said, get me some hem tape ironing stuff, and they didn't get it. What a you think you're having a bad day? Are you having a bad day?
No.
Really?
I get really annoyed at the maltreatment of vulnerable people.
Yes.
There is no excuse for that. There is plenty to go around in society.
Yep.
There's plenty of help.
Yep.
But these greedy, fat cat private companies, these organisations who are
these
focused
corporates.
on profit,
profit and share price.
People.
That's it.
They
Profits
don't
and
care.
share price.
They don't care.
Yep.
So they will treat people appallingly badly.
Yes.
Because
they don't care.
Those people might make a dent in their profit.
Because they're not bothered.
And share price.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Well, I think that essential services, such as services for the elderly and for the disabled, for the vulnerable people in our society, ought not to be in the hands of corporates. It ought to be in the hand of government, and it ought to be protected as such. And who have we got to thank for that?
I don't know.
Mrs.
Oh, we're not going to go down that avenue, are we?
Yes, we are.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Go on then.
Mrs. Blue.
Right. Okay.
Mrs. Blue. And
all
blue governments and all subsequent blue governments, including this lot of blues that we've got at the moment.
Dear.
Blues.
No, it's terrible. It's terrible. Terrible.
Who needs blues?
Terrible.
Just get some reds back.
Yes.
Get the reds back.
Yes.
With their current leader, in my humble opinion. Get him in.
There we go.
Shall we stop this?
I think we should.
I've just got
but
my
political
soapbox.
Compared to these people, you're not having a bad day.
You're not having a bad day.
You're just
when you cannot leave your flat for 5 weeks.
5 weeks, and you're running out of food, and you're relying on neighbours.
That's a bad day.
That is a bad day.
Let's do some of this, shall we?
Yep.
Ready? Assalamu alaikum.
Wa rahmatullahi.
Wa barakatuh.
Come on.
Are we ready?
Ready.
Grand.
Oh dear.
Just one word.
Oh,
one
it's
word.
Just brilliant.
Brings it all
and
back.
if you say it, it doesn't have the grand. Doesn't have the same effect. But go on.
Grand.
And her waving, saying, "Have you called the Coast Guard?
Called the Coast Guard.
I'll be honest with you, love. I'm taking photographs.
I can't use my phone while I'm taking photos.
Look, Petunia, a sailing dinghy. Oh,
Ground.
Oh my goodness.
Oh Oh, fantastic. I love that story.
Oh.
Love that story. Listen to the podcast. I love that story.
It's brilliant.
Listen to our podcast.
Get back to the
podcast.
podcast.
Love that story.
It is fantastic.
Love
Get
it.
back to the podcast.
Alhamdulillah.
You will love it.
Alhamdulillah. Two White Muslims available on all good podcast platforms.
Yes.
Including Spotify and iTunes.
And you can get it downloaded to any podcast provider. Just search Two White Muslims. I don't know if you need to search it. It's on Podbean. I don't know if you have to search it.
But it's also on our YouTube channel.
It is actually. Do you know what? Just
why
go to the
bother?
YouTube channel.
Why bother?
And
Just
then
go to
put
the
it
YouTube
on,
channel.
Fall asleep listening
While you're there, subscribe.
Because we had one of the best and worst compliments we've ever had. Oh, I often fall asleep listening to your podcast.
Yeah. I mean, how long does that take? 30 seconds.
Is that good or bad?
30 seconds.
Is that good or bad? I'm not sure.
Just put
is
your
that a
lads on.
compliment? Or is that...
30 seconds later, I'm out for the count. Gone.
Gone. Oh, dear.
So there you go. Shameless plug of our podcast.
Yes.
Once again.
Yes.
Because we have to get the message out there that we debunk all of these shows, take out the nasheeds, take out the adverts, take out the nonsense, and you're just left with our talky bits.
Yep.
So if you like our talky bits, which a lot of people seem to, because they tell us, then just listen to the podcast.
Yes.
Inshallah.
Yes.
So anyway, where are we? Where are we on our list?
We've got to celebrate this.
I'm looking forward to a celebration.
We have to celebrate this. We have to get onto the mountain tops, rooftops, and scream it.
Can I get my glow sticks and party poppers out?
Yes, you can.
Ready?
Yes, you can. Come on. This is absolutely brilliant.
You haven't seen yet, have you? In the gym that we go to, and my good lady and your good lady go off and do these classes on an evening.
Yes.
And they'll meet up at 5 to 7, have a chinwag outside the class, and then walk into the class.
Yes.
One of these classes is done in pitch darkness.
Right.
With music playing, blaring out no less.
Yes.
And they give them glow sticks.
Glow sticks.
And it's called Clubbercise.
They then release some young seals. No.
Seal clubbing. Oh. So they're playing hideous dance music and all these ladies, shall we say, because I don't see any blokes in there.
Can well imagine, yes.
I was asked to go once and I said, no, I want to get fit. I do not want to change gender.
Yes, absolutely.
So you're on your own on that one, love. I haven't got a
sweatband.
You're on your own. My leg warmers, I can't find them.
Leg warmers, yes.
Can't find my leg warmers.
Can't find my leg warmers?
No. And my headband and my white jacket with the sleeves rolled up too far.
Yeah.
I can't find that either. Yeah. My medallion's nowhere to be found.
No.
So I can't go to that class.
Yes.
Yeah. But glow sticks, I mean, really.
I can imagine it being great fun, though.
Really?
I can imagine it being great fun.
You know,
to watch.
from the gym, it's all windows. You can see through the windows.
Yes.
And albeit it's blacked out, you can just see these glow sticks.
Glow sticks moving.
Grooving away. Moving and grooving away.
They're getting fit.
They're
getting fit. They're
I'm
fighting the fat.
I'm sure they
getting
are.
Fit.
They're
fighting
becoming
the
lean.
winter spec.
Winter spec. Wow.
Oh.
Bless
But
them.
we have a celebration.
Okay,
we have
cool.
a celebration.
Right, looking forward to this.
Earlier this year,
Yeah.
the board of Louisville Regional Airport Authority voted to meaningfully recognise the legacy of humanitarian, boxing legend, and Louisville native Muhammad Ali
Okay, cool.
by renaming the airport in his honour.
That's great.
So it is now the Louisville Muhammad Ali International Airport.
Brilliant.
How cool is that?
I think that's brilliant.
That is amazing.
To have the word Muhammad on any plaque celebrating somebody's life.
Especially an airport.
in America.
In America.
Brilliant.
Come on.
Yeah. But why
how many people go through... It's one thing to put it on a plaque on a wall.
Yeah.
How many people go through an airport?
Thousands upon thousands of people.
And a day.
Every day.
Thousands
I'm gonna remember
and thousands
Muhammad
will be going
Ali.
through the Muhammad Ali Airport.
And he deserves that.
He did.
Because what a great guy
he was amazing.
He was
amazing.
Do you know what he was?
Amazing.
The greatest.
He was the greatest.
He was the greatest.
He was the greatest.
He was. And he was the greatest in terms of boxing.
Yep.
But wasn't he also a great personality?
Oh, it was incredible.
Yeah. Do you remember the Michael Parkinson interview?
Oh, it was brilliant.
It's just classic.
It was
it's classic
brilliant.
footage. And if you've never seen it, Google it.
Go and
watch it. It's brilliant.
And then, he had another interview with Michael Parkinson.
Okay.
About 30 or so years later.
Yes, I remember that.
And it was when he was suffering really quite
bad
badly
Parkinson's.
from his Parkinson's.
Yep.
And he had his manager there, and he had support people. And he's talking to the very best of his ability, and still such an engaging dude.
Yeah.
I mean, amazing.
Yep.
And he's talking to Michael Parkinson, and then half of it he just kind of goes and falls asleep. And Michael Parkinson's looking at his helper, going, I'm mouthing the words. What do I do? What do I do? What do I do? What do I do? And then Muhammad Ali opened one eye and just went, got you. Brilliant. Even where most people would say, oh, the poor thing, look into his suffering.
Yep.
No.
Got you.
No. Still the greatest. Still the greatest.
Amazing personality.
Went around the world. Everywhere he went, people adored him.
People loved him.
He just had a way of engaging people.
What a brilliant advert.
Oh, for
us.
For
Brilliant.
Muslims, for people, first of all, for people,
humanity,
for humanity.
Yep.
If all people behave like, come on,
Yep.
do you know what I mean?
Yep.
And then for people of colour
Yep.
in a very racist area
Absolutely.
of a very racist country.
Yep. Still to this day.
To this day, but certainly when he was in his prime. I remember there was the story of him throwing he won the gold medal at the Olympics.
Yeah.
Was it 68 or 66? 68.
Whatever.
68. It was either 68 or 64 because the World Cup was in 66. Don't know why I remember that one. And they go every 2 years.
Why would you remember a World Cup in 66?
And he won the 2 World Wars and 1 World Cup. And he won the gold medal. The boxing gold medal, and he came back thinking, well, this is it. I am now I'm the world champion. I am the greatest. This is amazing. And he went into his hometown, and he went into a burger place. No, don't serve your kind.
Yeah.
And so he went out and threw his thing in the river.
Yeah.
So, well, what was the point?
What was the point?
What was the point? And now, all these years later, nearly 60 years later, they are naming the regional international airport.
How must that feel?
Oh, it must be amazing.
No. Walking into a burger joint and somebody saying to you,
don't serve your kind.
We don't serve your kind.
Don't serve your kind in here.
How must that feel?
I can't imagine.
I
can't imagine.
I'm
a white man. I've never faced this kind of stuff.
How can you?
How lucky are we?
Pick yourself up.
Yes.
And become a world-renowned champion at boxing and world-renowned
for a
personality
country where some people in that country don't like you. And turn them around to the point where even those people are going, he's the greatest.
He's the greatest.
He's the greatest.
He was the greatest. Yeah.
And they see past colour, they see past race, they see past religion to a dude, to just an amazing guy.
man.
It takes a lot to do that.
It does, doesn't it?
It takes a lot, and he did it. And you just think, come on, what?
Where did that?
Ambassador.
What I'm making for is, absolutely an ambassador. Ambassador on all sorts of fronts.
Yes.
And an incredibly important figure, the 20th century figure.
Yes.
Incredibly important.
For many reasons.
For so many reasons.
Yeah.
Yeah, but the thing that I'm questioning here is how do you do that?
How do you? It's a very good question.
When you've faced that kind of blind prejudice and that appalling behaviour from people.
And you've hit the pinnacle of performance, the peak of perfection within your chosen career, and they're still saying, nah.
No, we don't serve your lot.
You're not for us. You're not for us, Yath. Not for us.
But he picked himself up and he carried on.
Yeah.
And he became the world's greatest.
Yes.
Where does that strength come from?
And it's incredible. I mean, talk about strength. He won the World Heavyweight Championship 3 times.
Yeah.
And the reason he had to win it 3 times is because they took it off him. And one of the ways they took it off him was he refused to be drafted, and he refused to go and kill people in the Vietnam War. Refused. Yes. So they said, "Well, then we're gonna no, you're not allowed to do that. We're gonna have to lock you up." He went, "Well, you're gonna have to lock me up then. Yeah. First of all, you can try.
Yep.
And second, well, that's what you have to. I am not going over there, and I'm not going to kill people I do not know for reasons I don't understand.
Yes.
This is not happening." I didn't join the army. You're trying to draft me into the army, and you're trying to get me to kill people I don't know for a reason I don't understand. Refused to do it. So they stripped him of his world championship. Took it off him. And he served a ban, and then he came back, and he won it again. Imagine if he'd have been able to fight. That was his heyday. That was when he was at the pinnacle. Perfect, you know. And at that point was not able to fight. Yep. So he went on and he came back and he won it.
He won it.
And then he came back and he won it again. I mean, come on.
He was invincible.
He was amazing.
Yep.
Incredible. You know, one of the fights in Rocky is based on one of his fights.
Is it?
Yeah, where it looks like he's been beaten.
Yep.
It looks like... And then he's just... It might have been against Foreman. And he's just tiring him out. And then eventually he just puts his head up and batters a really tired opponent. And it's from one of the Rocky... That's one of the Rocky... Was it Rocky 2?
Yeah.
I think it might be Rocky 2.
Yeah.
He's not getting beaten. He's getting angry.
Yeah.
Is what Paulie says in Rocky's corner, you know?
Wow.
Oh, he's just amazing.
Incredible.
Amazing.
But a celebration, you're right.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're absolutely right to name an airport after him.
Oh, brilliant.
Where millions of people are going to see that name.
Brilliant.
As they pass through.
Compare that to Philadelphia.
Okay.
In Philadelphia, now that we're talking about Rocky, they have a statue to...
Go on.
Rocky. That statue that he goes up to and throws his thing at, is a statue. And I assumed it was of somebody else. My understanding is, no, it's of him. It is a Rocky. It's a statue to Rocky. He's a fictional character.
Yes.
Didn't they have... What's it like? Oh, there was 2 world-famous fighters. And I mean massive, massive fighters from Philly.
Yeah.
From Philly. But they were off colour. Did they get a statue?
No, but he did. A fictional
character gets a statue.
Wow.
And he's now got an airport.
Do you know
what? Things might be changing.
America,
yep.
When we think about what they've done, their history, and in fact, the way that they are today, and they're getting worse because of their lizard-like leader, vile human being he is.
Yep.
It's a pretty rotten nation when you think about it.
Yes. Some lovely people there. Unfortunately, they are balanced out unevenly by some vile,
horrible
people
creatures
with vile mentalities.
Yep.
And the whole country seems to be about making money, but not for the wee man.
No.
For 1 or 2 people at the pinnacle.
That's right.
And everybody else just... You know, they only get 2 weeks holiday a year, and they can't take those 2 weeks at the same time.
I know, it's crazy.
I was once in, I can't remember, Jamaica or somewhere, and we're chatting, and this bloke says, so how long are you here for? Oh, we're here for 2 weeks. What? How did you get 2 weeks off? So how did you not?
Yep.
What's the point of coming this far if you've only come for a week? Why have you only come for a week? I only get 2 weeks off, and we can't take those 2 weeks together.
That's right.
And he thought, how much do you get? Well, I said, well, I've been working for the company for quite a long time. I think I'm at about 6 weeks.
Yes.
I think I get about 6 weeks.
I was at 37 days.
Yeah, there you go. And he goes, what? That's ridiculous. I said, well, who's the fool here?
Yeah.
Who's the fool?
37 days.
5 weeks, yeah.
Plus bank holidays.
Plus bank holidays, plus Christmas. Oh, Christmas is a bank holiday. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And they're like, what? Well, who's the fool?
Yeah.
You're the one working yourself into an early grave. I'm not. I mean, I am, but that's the other means.
Yeah.
That's who's simply not stopping. I mean, no healthcare. 2 weeks holiday if you're lucky.
Yep.
Some people don't get paid for the holiday, so they don't take it.
Oh.
They have to work more than one job.
Yeah.
Oh, can you imagine that? Having more than one job?
Oh, can you imagine?
Can you imagine that? How many jobs have you got at the moment? I think you're on 3, I'm on 4.
3.
And it's soon to be 4 for you, 5 for me.
I know.
Oh, my goodness.
It's crazy.
But that's their choice, and it's just we love it.
Crazy life.
They're having to do it so that they can eat.
So that they can survive, yeah, I know.
But Muhammad Ali...
What a rotten place.
Yeah.
And this is said to be the greatest place.
Yep.
It's the freest, most liberated place in the free world.
And the
what a load of utter tosh and nonsense.
The time of liberation, if you think about the 60s, for people of colour, it wasn't liberation, it was the beginning. It is still happening now.
Yeah.
Because they've got a disproportionate number of black people in prisons.
Yeah.
That means that there's still social injustice.
Yep.
That started in the 60s. That means if you look at an individual... and they've got a lot of grey in their hair, there's a strong possibility they remember it.
Yes.
It's in living memory for many people. It's in my parents' lifetime.
Yep.
It's in your parents' lifetime.
Hang on a minute. I was born in 63.
Wow. It's in your lifetime.
So it was in my lifetime.
Wow. It was actually.
Yes.
Good Lord, it was.
Yes.
Because it was late 60s. Was it 68?
I was born in the year of the Cuban crisis.
Really?
Yes.
Wow.
Yes.
Good Lord.
Mm.
Duck and cover. Duck and cover. Yeah, that'll do it.
Yeah. Duck down and cover your head.
That'll do it.
Yeah. If there's a nuclear strike,
yeah.
duck down and cover your head.
Cover. And I remember.
Paint your windows white.
I remember those.
The advice.
Paint your windows white. Take your door off. Do you remember? Take your door off and prop it up against the wall of your house, but a supporting wall, and then pile a load of stuff on it to make yourself the equivalent of an Anderson shelter.
A bunker, yeah.
Lunacy.
Yeah.
Lunacy.
Yes, when in reality what's going to happen is that your entire house will
just
vaporise.
Be vaporised.
Yes.
Lunacy.
So your little...
Just to make people feel better.
Yeah, just to make you feel secure. Like a child in a tent made of sheets.
Yes, yeah. Oh, the monster can't get me in here.
That's right. Yeah, I'm in my special cave. No bears in here, thank you.
Yes.
Yeah.
Pull the cover up over your head. No monsters could get you now.
That's right. Yeah. Wow. I tell you what, just close your eyes, because if you can't see it, it can't see you.
There you go. And then Daddy will sing you a song, and then you'll be asleep.
Then you'll be fine.
Oh, we're straight from the point.
We have, haven't we?
Muhammad Ali.
Love him.
Brilliant.
Love him.
Love
his memory.
Legacy. I think it's
I love everything about what he did, what he stood for, and how he did it, and where he came from to where he got.
Every single time he was interviewed, he invoked the blessings of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala.
He did.
Constantly.
Yes, he did.
Constantly.
Yeah.
He didn't just go, I'm a really good boxer, but I'm not going to talk about my religion.
No.
Talked about his religion because he was a really good boxer.
Yes. Yeah.
I mean, come on.
Yep.
Come on.
Love him. Glad he's got an airport named after him.
Yes. About blinking
There should
time.
be more things. Yeah. Is there a statue of him in
Louisville? I don't know. There should be. I'm hoping that's next.
I'm hoping they put one of those up, as well as the airport being named after him.
Yes.
We shall see. Huh?
Yeah. What a guy.
But we've overshot on this.
We have.
We've overshot. We've got to do some of this quickly.
Yeah, so for now, we need to do a bit of this.
Gran! Assalamu alaikum.
Wa rahmatullahi.
Wa barakatuh. And when I say, are we ready? And you say yes.
Then we are.
We are
ready.
Alhamdulillah.
I have a list.
You have
I have a list. And on that list, there's stuff to talk about. Now, I'm not saying we talk about it.
And I have no idea what's on this list.
I have it. It's always there to fall back on.
I just wait with bated breath.
Yes.
Yeah. With some fear and trepidation, it has to be said.
Yeah.
Because sometimes you pull out of that list some really challenging stuff.
Yep. Yes.
We have to be very careful about what we say.
Very careful. But something that's really important.
Yep.
It's really important. And do you know this one? It's really important.
This one, is it?
Yep.
Okay.
Do you know why it's really important?
Go on.
It proves that the two white Muslims are
right.
Always.
We're always right.
Always.
So, always have been on every subject.
Yes.
Yeah. You cannot bring up a subject and we talk about it that we're not right.
Absolutely.
It's true.
Absolutely.
True.
Now, specifically, though,
I mean, my missus might disagree with that from time to time.
No doubt. Well, she can disagree all she wants.
She can.
Her saying something doesn't make it true.
I know. Her saying we're wrong doesn't make it right that we're wrong.
Whatever my good lady says is true, is right, because she might listen to this rubbish. You never know.
I just say yes to everything.
Yes,
say yes to everything, then do what I like.
And then do what you like.
Yep, absolutely. It's worked for me.
Exactly. Of course we can, love. I'm just going out.
We're still happily married after 28 years.
Exactly.
Well, no. We're still married after 28 years.
Yeah. Oh, I've been happily married for 14 years. I thought you'd been married for 28. I have.
I remember happiness.
Yes.
I remember happy. That was that time before I got married. I remember freedom.
Yes.
Do you remember freedom?
I remember freedom.
28 years ago for me.
I remember freedom.
Yeah.
And do you know, for me,
I remember having my own opinions.
Oh yes.
Do you remember those?
I remember.
Yeah.
Do you know, I remember
28 years ago. That
I remember earning a wage. Now I just get
being
an allowance.
able to spend it. Yeah, absolutely.
I don't earn a wage anymore. I get an allowance.
Look at you.
Yeah.
Look at you.
Yes. Oh dear. None of this is true. You all know. None of this is some of it. All of it.
When you say none of it, do you mean absolutely the opposite of that?
Pretty much.
Pretty much. Are you saying the opposite of what you're thinking?
Oh, but it comes into play.
Okay.
In this next segment,
right?
Because we are proving yet again that the two white Muslims are right, and therefore we are having a conversation about what?
Alcohol.
How much alcohol is good for you?
None.
How much should you have?
None.
What do we say? None. Nada. Nil. Zilch.
Nil. Zilch.
Well, This one involves an argument, and it's pretty much down to somebody being not too enamoured with his ex-wife.
Okay.
The headline goes, and this is from Manchester Evening News, and the headline goes, "I will kill you right now."
Oof.
Dumped husband's Jack Daniels fueled meltdown.
Oh, no.
So here we go. On Manchester flight as bid to start new life goes disastrously wrong.
Yes, it started going wrong as soon as that bottle opened.
The Jack Daniels bottle.
Yes, that's when it started going wrong.
And where will he have done that?
In the
airport lounge. Absolutely.
Waiting for his flight.
Waiting for his flight. Don't matter what time it is. I'm sure somewhere here, it will tell me what time. Don't matter what time it was.
Doesn't matter.
Because as soon as I get into an airport, go on. Should we have a drink? Should we have a drink?
Oh,
Should we have a drink?
holiday starts here.
Holiday starts here. Should we have a
Let's start as we mean to go on.
Should we have a drink? We've got 3 hours before you go. I know. Plenty of time. Oh, don't do it. Don't. I don't know why they all go like a 1970s. Plenty of time. 1970s comic. Liam Preston kissed his biceps as a demonstration of strength after a 24-hour journey from hell.
Oh.
A dejected Britain, get ready for this, a dejected Britain has been jailed.
Oh, good.
After going on a drunken rampage during a 7,337-mile flight back to Manchester.
Where had he been?
Well, just hours after he was sacked on only his first day of a dream job in Indonesia. So he's split up from his good lady, he's gone across to Indonesia, he's starting his new life, and he gets sacked on day one.
Good.
Gets on a plane,
Yep.
gets hammered,
Yep.
and heads off home.
Yep.
Liam Preston, 36, had been offered the chance of an exotic new life in Jakarta after his wife had left him.
Okay.
So he gets to start afresh in Jakarta. But when he arrived in the Indonesian capital city, he discovered he had lost his passport and was promptly fired and sent home.
Oh, my goodness me.
So he had to get back on a flight pretty much straight away. Preston then had to contact his ex-wife for help to get back to it. She agreed to pay for the cheapest flights possible, which left him facing an epic 24-hour journey with 2 connecting flights. So,
And?
I've been to Australia. It took me 26 hours.
Yes.
So, where's the excuse on this?
It's what you expect. Going halfway around the world.
Absolutely. Oh, and somebody else is paying for it, and it was your own silly mistake for losing your Who loses the passport?
Who does that?
Oh, on the last leg of the trip, conveyor company worker Preston got drunk in his seat, then snapped at cabin crew when they confiscated his duty-free Jack Daniels whiskey.
Oh,
So he opened the bottle and just started necking it.
No.
During the meltdown, staff assured Preston he would get the bottle back when the plane landed. We're not taking it off you. We're just borrowing it till you land.
Yes.
We're cutting you off, as they would say in America. We're cutting you off. But he kissed his biceps on his arms as a demonstration of strength and warned, "I will smash you in your face. I will kill you right now." It's a pleasant chap, this lovely guy.
Lovely fella,
Lovely guy.
yeah.
But the weird thing is, he might be. Just not with a bottle of Jack Daniels inside
It's
him.
not. It never brings out the best in
It does
anybody,
not
does it?
bring out the best.
Oh,
They never
when
show
will
you that in the
people
adverts,
learn?
do they?
No.
They never
No,
show
they
you
don't.
this in the adverts.
No, they don't.
They never show you vomiting down your own front.
No.
They never show you falling down a flight of stairs.
No.
They never show you being rude to old people and ladies.
No.
I mean, come on.
No. They never see you on the floor with your arms up your back in handcuffs being arrested.
Oh, get ready, yes.
Yeah.
As the Jet Airways flight touched down in Manchester and was taxiing to a terminal, fellow passengers and crew had to restrain Preston when he leapt from his seat and began flailing his arms around in the aisles. Security staff boarded the aircraft but found Preston lying on the floor and refusing to get to his feet. Well, get ready, Preston.
Yeah.
I don't think you're going to have a choice here, young man.
No.
He then pretended to punch one guard, hugged and kissed him on the cheek instead before headbutting him and spitting in his face.
Oh my!
He's a
goodness
lovely
me.
lad, isn't he?
Oh, it's great.
He's lovely.
Do you know what? Those Indonesians don't know what they've missed out on.
Yeah, yes. Do you know?
Or maybe they took one look at him and thought, passport or no passport, my friend.
It's a good
You're
point.
on the next flight back.
It's a good point.
Yeah.
Oh my!
When will
goodness.
these people learn?
I
Well,
want-
they actually won't, because how many times do we read stories
Well,
like
exactly.
this?
Exactly.
How many times do we
Daily.
prove that we are right
daily.
every single time? Yeah, daily.
Yeah. During the flight, he was
People
wearing
don't
headphones
learn.
and listening to music and singing loudly, disturbing other passengers, some of whom were asleep.
Can you imagine that over
Exactly.
20 hours?
Over 20 hours.
Oh,
Staff asked him to be quiet and offered him a pillow, and he took the pillow, and they watched as he tried to get some sleep. He did go to sleep, but then started singing again. The defendant then asked for a can of beer, but staff refused. Ha 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 ha. So he got his duty-free bottle out and started drinking that.
off he goes. Yeah.
I want to find out what his sentence has been. He told the cabin members, "I will smash you in the face. I will kill you. I will kill you right now. I kill him. I kill him dead." As the plane was taxiing, I'm just trying to find out if it tells you how long he's gone.
I shall understand exactly what you just said.
Yes, yeah. Mr. Farley said his client remembered nothing of the incident. Oh, that's all right then.
Really? Oh,
As long
that
as
makes
you
it all
remember it, 'cause
okay.
everybody else on the plane remembers it. All the cabin crew remember it.
Yep.
The hell that you put them through.
Absolutely.
Oh.
I remember nothing of it. So you need to be taken off the streets for the safety of others
Yeah.
and yourself.
Yes.
If we have
Sentencing judge Bernard Lever didn't take it like that.
No.
During sentencing, he said, "You were thoroughly obnoxious and making a nuisance of yourself.
Yep.
The courts do have duty to deter those who give concern and anxiety to other people on a flight." Absolutely.
Good.
Absolutely.
Good.
I can see the real evidence on your face that you have dealt with significant problems, but I consider that your prolonged and serious behaviour can only have an impact on the message to the public at large, that this sort of behaviour will not be tolerated. Yeah.
How did I know that?
Come on. Come on.
I like this, Judge.
Oh, dear. So he was detained at His Majesty's pleasure.
Fantastic.
Was it worth it?
No.
Was it worth it?
No, not at all. Will he be regretting it now?
I'm sure he will.
Well, do you know what?
Do you know what he'll do?
He doesn't even have any
He'll probably-
memory of it.
But the thing is, do you know what he'll do? He'll go and drown his sorrows.
Yes, he will.
Is what he'll do.
Yeah.
Do you think he'll learn his lesson?
soon as he gets out.
Will he regret it? Yes.
Yes.
Will he learn his lesson?
No.
No.
No. He'll be straight down the pub as soon as he gets out
Yep.
of jail, and it all starts again.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Because if this is his answer, I think it will continue to be his
Yeah.
answer.
What a revolting man.
Yeah. You know the
What
best
a
way to stop
vile
drinking?
creature.
Don't start.
Exactly.
Don't stop.
Just don't take it.
Best way to stop
Don't
smoking?
Take it. Don't
start.
take it. Don't take
Don't
it.
start.
Don't do it.
Best way to get off illegal substances? Don't take
Don't
them.
do them.
Don't start. Don't
No.
look at people and go, "Oh, that looks..." No, it doesn't.
Ooh, I
look
wonder
at
what
all
that's
the
like.
bad things that happen and keep that at the forefront of your mind when your mates are saying, "Go on, just try it."
Oh, you don't know what you're missing
You know
out
what you're
on.
missing?
Oh, you don't know what you're
Oh.
missing. Just
Do you
all
remember
they're trying to-
Saturday? No, me neither.
all
you
they're trying
funny?
to do is drag you into the pit
Yes.
that they are in.
Yep,
And it is a vile pit.
it is.
Don't
It's
volunteer.
très horrible.
Don't volunteer your way into that pit.
Yep.
Please. Just don't do
Oh.
it. Easy. Easy, isn't it?
Yep.
Don't do it.
Don't do it.
Don't
It's
do it.
not complicated. Just don't do it.
What you should do is follow what Junaid and I do.
Yes.
Follow what the two white Muslims do.
Yes.
Yeah. And that's, we just...
We have vices.
yeah, I have vices. I'm not perfect.
Jam donuts.
I eat pancakes
Yes.
and drink tea.
Do you know what we have? The odd pot noodle.
Should we?
Yeah, I think we might.
We also eat hula hoops.
We do.
We do.
Do.
That's our vice.
Yes.
Hula hoops.
Yes.
And we do you know what we forgot? We forgot today. We forgot.
What have we forgotten today?
What have we forgotten?
What have we forgotten?
Have a look. Have a look on the table. What's missing? Bananas is what's missing.
Oh, no bananas. We've gone for all the rubbish.
Yes.
None of the good.
Yes, we
Oops.
have no bananas.
Oops. Oh, right.
Let's go and get a cuppa, shall
Yes, I think we should.
we? Drown our sorrows in a cup of tea
Yes.
or coffee.
Alhamdulillah.
Assalamu alaikum.
Wa rahmatullahi.
Wa barakatuh.
Oh, and on we go. And on we
Onwards
go.
and
Yay.
upwards. Is it?
Whatever you're doing, we hope you're thoroughly enjoying it. We hope you're having a fantastic
Or do we just start
time.
and spiral downwards?
Yeah, well, it began the second you tuned into this rubbish. To this nonsense.
Welcome to your day after we're finished.
Yes,
You might enjoy it
Yeah, we do brighten up people's mornings
when we leave.
when we end. Absolutely. Oh. Do you know, I've got a story here which I think an awful lot of our listeners could actually identify with.
Okay.
Have you heard of John Legend?
I've heard the name, but I can't recall
Is he an
why.
American singer, songwriter type bloke?
Yeah, could be.
I'm sure he is.
Could be.
I'm sure he's incredibly famous. I don't
Yeah.
really follow this kind of thing anymore. Well, in his adult life,
Yeah.
guess what he started learning what to do?
Go on.
Swim.
Okay.
Swim. So John Lennon, it's in the BBC News, John Lennon and others learning to swim as adults.
Now, that's interesting,
Yes,
isn't it?
Isn't it?
Now, can your good lady swim?
She can. Not the strongest, but she can.
She can swim.
Just.
Okay. When did she learn?
I think pretty much as we got married.
Yep.
And I just said, well, why don't we go in the water? I'm not really a very strong swimmer. You mean you can't really? No, great. Let's give it a go.
That's right.
So, she kind of, she could swim, but she would say it's not the strongest.
Yep.
My goodness.
Yep.
Because guess what they didn't do as kids?
Swim.
Didn't go swimming.
I know.
Her brother can't swim.
Really?
And he now lives in Australia.
Wow.
And when I went across to Australia and stayed with him for a bit, he said, the one thing I don't want to cancel, the one thing I don't want to put off, he said, I love the fact you're here. I'll stay off work.
Yeah.
I'll do it. Brilliant. And it was lovely. I thoroughly enjoyed it.
Yep.
It was brilliant to get back together with him. He said, but would you come to the swim bath with it?
Swimming lesson. Yeah.
And he was going for. I went to swim. He was going for a swimming lesson.
Yep.
He was learning to swim.
Oh, that's brilliant.
And I said, well, why are you learning to swim?
At what age
why
was
are you
this?
learning to swim?
At what age was this?
Oh, well, 2 years ago.
Alhamdulillah.
So if he's 12 years old, he's 30, 35, 34?
Your good lady can swim.
Yeah, yes.
Mine can't.
Right.
And I've tried many times
Yep.
To teach her.
Yes.
She's been to classes
Yep.
a number of times, but
Yes.
she can't do it.
Wow.
She does not have the confidence to
Yep.
lift her feet up off the floor.
Yes.
So she will make swimming motions with her arms
Yep.
whilst walking across the swimming pool floor.
Yeah.
But she,
Yes.
honestly, it looks...
Yeah. That's a start.
It is, bless her. But she cannot pluck up the courage to lift her legs
Feet
up.
off. Yeah.
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 And we've tried everything. You know the big long piece of foam that you get?
Yeah.
We've tried one of those.
Yeah. You can tie those. You can
can
secure them
you
around you.
But
Yep.
you put it under your arms,
Yep.
don't you? And then
Yes.
lean forward and
Yeah.
you can't sink.
Yeah.
We've tried that.
Yeah.
I was tempted to get her some adult-sized armbands, but I thought, no. That might just look a little bit weird.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Armbands. Get them on.
But
people wouldn't, not grown-ups.
I keep telling her the reason why she fears the water and
Yes.
she will never learn to swim
Yeah.
is because she has never put her head underwater.
Right.
Never.
You see.
She has never had her face underwater.
Right.
And that's what she fears the most.
Yep. And this is the first thing that they teach kids
Yes.
when they're learning to swim.
Put
They
your head under.
They say, well, as when I was young,
Duck
put your head under.
Duck under.
Duck
Yep.
under. You know what I
it.
mean? And some kids would. What they do now is they say, we're going to throw things that you've got to get them.
Yes.
And it's in the pool where it's only like waist
Yes.
deep. So as they bend down to get them, their ears are going under,
Yes.
and then they go a little bit deeper, and
Yeah.
without realising it,
Yeah.
they're putting their face underwater.
Yeah. Yeah.
And they
Well,
play games that encourage
My
them to put
missus
their face
won't
underwater.
do that.
Because
Yeah.
I remember learning to swim underwater before
Yeah.
I learned to swim.
Yeah.
So I could move around the pool, and then as soon as I ran out of air, I'd push myself up to the surface, take a breath, sink back down
Yep.
again, and swim along the bottom.
Yeah.
Because I had no fear of water, because
Nope.
my head had gone under.
Fantastic.
Do you know what I mean? No fear, because I knew if I went out of breath, just go up.
I
Just go
had-
up, take a breath, come back down again.
Yeah, absolutely. Like
The pool's
like
not
a
big
whale.
enough.
Like a
Like a
whale.
whale.
Or a dolphin.
Yes,
That's what you used to do.
That's exactly what they
Shark.
did. Yes.
Yeah. So I was taught to swim.
Yep.
My dad, as your dad was, a
Yes.
police officer.
Yeah.
And our local baths, Almshouse Lane Baths in Wakefield.
Exactly
We had
the same.
one evening
Yes.
of the week where it was
Exactly
only
the same.
the police
Only
and their
coppers,
children,
and it was free.
and it was free.
Yes.
Yeah. So
And it
Wednesday
was-
evening,
But it was Wednesday.
and it was
Same
a fella
as Sheffield.
called Jack Martin.
Right.
He was a sergeant.
Okay.
In West Yorkshire Police.
Yep.
Sorry, the West Riding Police at that time.
Yes. Golly.
And he was a sergeant,
Right.
and he had this massive big moustache going on that he used to wax. The wax
Oh,
moustache that
brilliant.
came out to the side. He had
Yes.
one of those
Yes.
going
Yes.
on.
Yes.
And he was a frightening fella.
I can imagine.
He was a scary fella.
Yep.
He had a booming voice.
Yep.
And he took me on my very, very first lesson up to the deep end, which was 6 feet.
Wow.
Bearing in mind, I was only about 3 feet.
About 3 of those,
yes. So it was way over my head,
Yes.
double
And
my
you would
height.
struggle to get down to the bottom of that and come back
Yes,
up.
you would, yeah. So bearing that in mind, he said, I'm going to teach you how to swim, lad, and you are going to get your blue ribbon tonight.
Yep.
And I was thinking, I'm not, I can't do this. I've never done that. I'm scared of this.
Yes.
And I remember, my experience of going to the swimming baths was just clinging around my dad's neck.
Yeah.
While he went ever deeper and then decided it was no point.
Yeah.
And took me back to the shallow end where he used to splash around.
Yes.
That was the age I was at.
Yeah.
Jack Martin took me up to the deep end of the swimming pool.
Yep.
Yeah. And said, see that fella down there, lad, at the other side? See that fella down there? He's got your blue ribbon. Yeah? You'll have earned it. Push. He pushed me in. Yeah, he pushed me in.
Wow.
And it is a case of sink or swim.
Sink or swim.
Sink or swim.
Yep.
Guess what I did?
Yes.
I coughed and spluttered and splashed
Yeah.
down to the other end where
Yep.
a guy cut a piece of blue ribbon off a roll
Wow.
and gave it to me and said, you've got your blue, lad. Congratulations.
Wow.
Well done. Yeah. And I thought, I don't feel like I've swum at all. I feel like I've just saved my own life.
Yes. But I swim.
But that's what swimming is.
Yep.
Yeah. And then I stayed in the water.
Yeah.
I went to the side of the pool, and I'll remember this well because there was like a metal pipe around the side.
Yeah, I remember that.
Metal pipe.
They don't have them anymore.
No, they don't.
No.
But metal pipe round, and you used to be able to hold onto that pipe.
That's right.
And I held onto it with one arm for dear life.
Yeah.
And lifted my legs up on my back.
Wow.
Yeah, and I lifted my legs up, and to my utter amazement, I found I could float.
Yes.
I couldn't believe what was going on. I took a lungful of air
Yeah.
and held my breath, and I actually floated.
Yeah.
And I floated to the extent where I felt comfortable letting go of that bar.
Yeah.
And as soon as I did that, I started kicking my legs.
Yeah.
And I got to the other side.
Yeah.
I thought, I can swim.
I've always found it easy to swim on my back
actually
than on my
swim
front.
on my back.
Yeah.
I can do this.
Yes.
And this fella said, I've seen you do that, lad, but it's no good. And I can promise you, if you can do that on your back, you can also do it on your front.
Yes.
And you'll be a stronger swimmer on your front.
Yes.
So let me teach you some arm movements, some leg movements.
Yeah.
Imagine you're a frog.
Yeah.
Yeah, and do that.
Imagine
And
you're
he
a
taught me
frog. What do you call
breaststroke.
it? The butterfly. What?
Yeah.
How's that work?
He taught me how to do breaststroke.
Yeah.
And he taught me that, and I got to the other side.
Yeah.
And I just thought, this swimming like's really easy. And do you know what? I think I might enjoy this.
Yeah.
And I was very, very young at that time.
Yeah.
And that's how you should learn to swim.
Yep.
When you are that age or younger.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah? They say if you put a newborn baby into water,
They will.
they will float and swim.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they
They've
also,
got a gagging
when they go
reflex.
under the water, they don't panic.
Gagging reflex
Yeah.
stops them from breathing in any
Yes.
water.
Yeah.
And they just look around, eyes wide open,
And then kick to
underwater,
the top.
and kick themselves to the top and take a breath when they get out of the water.
It's natural for them.
Amazing. It's like it was pre-programmed that way.
Yes.
Yeah?
Yeah.
So, why can't my missus swim? Because she won't
Fear.
put her head underwater.
Yeah. Fear.
That's why.
Yeah.
Now, I've had that conversation with her over 28 years
Yes.
now. 28 years, and it still hasn't sunk in.
Yeah.
The minute that she puts her head underwater and realises that when she takes it back out again, she's still alive.
She's still alive.
She hasn't drowned.
Yep.
She hasn't died.
Do that in the shallow end.
Absolutely, where you can stand up
Yep.
and you're 2 feet out of water.
Yep.
Do that there and you're fine.
Yes.
Yeah, and the minute she does that, she'll swim.
Yes.
Yeah. And I've been telling her that for 28 years.
Yeah.
But, it's like anything else that you tell your wife.
Well, yes.
In one ear, out the other.
Out
in
the
fact,
other.
very often it doesn't even go in.
Don't even go in.
Doesn't even go in. It just bounces off.
Yes.
It's like there's a blockage.
Yep.
An ear canal
We're
blockage.
just white noise.
Yeah.
But that's why I think, enough respect to my brother-in-law.
Yep.
He's learning to swim
Good lad.
because he wants to swim with his kids.
Absolutely.
Because his kids are going to learn, aren't
Hang on a
they?
minute. Is he in Australia?
He's in Australia. His kids
So
are
why
going to
wouldn't
learn.
he swim?
So he's learning to swim.
Alhamdulillah.
Brilliant.
Yeah, I'm really pleased for him.
Do you know what I mean?
hope he does
I can't get my head around a 34-year-old man who can't
it.
swim.
No, I can't.
But there's a lot of them in our culture.
I know.
There's a
I
great
know.
number of them. And the ridiculous thing,
Go on.
my father-in-law
Yep.
was a brilliant swimmer.
Oh,
Do you know why?
go on.
Because he was raised in Pakistan.
And in that time and in those areas,
He just jumped in the river.
that's what they did.
He just jumped in the river,
Yep.
and that's what you did. And you,
Yep.
you sank or swam, and that's
Yep.
how you learned. And he was an incredibly strong swimmer.
Yeah.
So when he came across to this, well, to Glasgow, one of the early jobs he had was a fisherman.
Wow.
Went out as a fisherman. You know,
Oh.
and he didn't go out thinking, I fear the what. Totally the
Because he
opposite.
could swim.
But then what they didn't do was take the kids. You know, which is understandable. I get that. He might
Mm.
not have time. There might be other reasons. But I just
Nowadays-
think you're robbing people.
nowadays,
wonderful.
In swimming pools up and down the country,
Yeah.
you get women-only sessions.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So if you're a lady
Yep.
and you fear that because you don't want to be swimming in front of other men,
Yep.
you can find sessions that are women-only.
Absolutely.
You can get a burkini. You can
Yeah.
wear the appropriate clothing to
Yep.
go swimming in.
Yes.
You can still wear a hijab in the water. My missus does, and there are a number of other people at the gym that do as well.
Yeah.
You know, all the excuses are now gone.
Yeah. Absolutely.
You can do this if you choose to.
Yep.
And do you know what? Choose to.
Yeah.
Just do
it's
it.
Brilliant.
It's fantastic. And in terms of exercise,
Oh.
you can't get better.
You're working every major muscle group.
Absolutely.
And it's impact free or resistance
Yeah.
free, whatever it is. There's
Yeah.
some phrase for it that means that it's actually good for you.
Yeah,
You're not
yeah.
destroying your muscles or
Oh,
your
it's
joints.
Brilliant.
It's phenomenal.
Brilliant.
And when you get away,
enjoy
get
it.
all day, do it in the sun. Oh,
Oh, come on.
brilliant.
Nothing better.
Great way to cool down.
Love it in the sea.
Just fantastic.
Love it in the sea.
So all these adults learning to swim.
Yeah.
You think, wow.
Right.
When's the easiest time to learn to swim?
Well, before you're an adult.
When you're a kid.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yep.
But my mum couldn't swim. My dad could. He was a brilliant swimmer. My mum
Yep.
couldn't. And my mum said it was because at school they used to push you in to teach you to swim.
Exactly what happened to me.
Yeah. Well, my dad went to a slightly rougher school than my mum, so she managed to avoid it.
Yeah.
My dad went, and this bloke took it, and he had a massive stick. And the kids all going, oh, that's to grab onto, if you're sinking. No.
No.
He pushed you in, and that was to hit your hands with if you tried to grab the
Yeah.
side.
Yeah.
So you tried to grab the side, 65 years ago?
Yeah.
It was bloke bat your fingers
Bite your
like
hands
that.
off. Yeah, yeah.
Hit you on the head.
Terrible.
What? But it worked.
I mean, do that
It
to
worked
kids
for him.
nowadays. What's
I
going
know.
on?
I
Social
know.
services.
They won't let me back in. And in thought baths. So I'm not advocating that, but
No.
kids should learn to swim.
Inshallah,
They
if you've got small children, just take them
Just
somewhere
take
to
them.
learn.
It's so much
It
fun.
is life changing when
It's
you can
brilliant.
swim, and in
Brilliant.
the best way.
Yeah.
It's fantastic.
So much fun.
So, swim involves water.
Yes.
So does tea.
Yes.
And coffee.
Yes.
Bye.
Bye.